We're live!
Are we?
I think. Maybe.
Fun.
Hey guys, can you hear us? Are we live?
Hi.
I've never pressed the go live button before.
You did it right, I think. I think you pressed the button and we're live.
Alright.
We're not live.
We're not live.
Oh.
I
always tell you to turn it down. It's so funny.
I turned it down.
Hi, Mark Finley.
Hey Mark, enjoy making dinner.
Yeah.
What are you making? What are you cooking? Did April bake?
Wait, sorry. It says that. Can you just. Hi, Drew. And Mo.
Hey,
Welcome.
Drew,
and Darien.
Mo, Darien.
Howdy to you too. Sorry, I'm just trying to troubleshoot because it's telling me something's wrong and I don't know what Derek did.
I didn't do anything.
Okay. Hi Klaus and Lori Sims. Welcome to you guys. Hope everybody's having a great Thursday. And I'm glad that everybody's wanting to spend their Thursday evening with us. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Alright.
It does kind of look like we're lagging maybe a little bit, so let us know if we're having any issues with lag, because that would be helpful on our end.
Yeah, I feel like it's giving me the same stuff as last week, which isn't wonderful. It's not telling me that I have an excellent stream right now.
This is good, though.
Yeah, that's what it said last week, and then it's giving us that warning that our bit rate is lower than recommended.
Well, we'll see.
Nothing's changed on our end. We haven't lowered any bit rates, so yeah. Alright, why don't you read through the chat? Let me try to troubleshoot this. Klaus is saying there is a lag.
Lag, but audio's fine.
Audio's fine.
Alright, well, I guess audio's the most important thing.
Let me see what
we're not doing anything too fancy over here that requires you to see exactly what's happening at every moment. That was my...
Now you're going to make everybody's screen freeze just from... Stop with the fast move.
Down by the river!
Alright, Nick P says it's working, and hello! Welcome to Nick. Cool. We're just going to plow in, I guess.
Drew! Yes, we need a tech consultant, and I think you do know a guy. We need that.
I don't know what's going on. So the same thing happened last week as this week.
Pour you some wine.
Where all of a sudden it's like giving us worse connections despite not ever changing anything.
Yeah.
But we can
maybe
we can
Megan and PG are streaming down.
she is on a call, but I don't think
be
that's. I don't know. I guess so.
Yeah.
Megan Morris, hello. Welcome to you.
What's up?
I just realized you said Megan and PG. That's funny. Yeah, PG's watching his shows, I'm sure.
Puppy Pals. PG is watching Puppy Pals. I just know it.
He's FaceTiming with all his friends.
He's FaceTiming Trevor Noah right now.
Oh my gosh. Oh yeah. I don't know if we mentioned, but PG's in one of Trevor Noah's Instagram posts. So we joked that it's like one of his best friends. Anyway, so PG's doing fine. I'm sure everybody wants to know. Number one thing, PG's doing great. He had a bath this week. Golden. So what's new with us? Derek got some like means to travel business cards this week.
Oh yeah.
We should have brought those up to show people. Oh my gosh, he was like official now as part of the team.
Yeah, I've got. Yeah, I can make it rain business cards.
Indeed.
When they first came, actually, I was like, oh, you know what I'm going to do with these? I can go to the bars and I can stick it in for, like, the happy hour thing.
And then what are bars?
I was shot down very quickly of, you can't go to bars and you can't,
no
definitely
happy
can't
hours.
just, like, no happy hours, nothing. So
no putting your business cards in the fish bowls anymore, I don't think.
I just really want that. That'd be fun. And I like free drinks, open bars. Always a good time.
Yeah. Hey, Thomas. I know you're on a road trip, so he's saying hi from Madison, Wisconsin.
Oh, Thomas,
and I know
thank you
he was
for
just
joining.
in Minnesota, so I'm guessing you're kind of like staying in Madison for the night, probably on your way back to Illinois, I think. But thanks for joining in.
Yeah.
And then I don't know if we missed anybody saying hi, and I'm so sorry if we did. I was just trying to troubleshoot a little bit, but I think we're okay.
Yeah.
We have such a great crew
We responded to
tonight.
Klaus, so we said hi that way.
Yep.
Lori, we
Lori,
got
Mark,
him, yeah.
Darien.
Yeah.
Yeah. Drew.
Cool. So, I guess we're talking today about souvenirs.
Yes. So we have a lot of them from over the years of our travels. Some are good, and some are okay. And so we were gonna talk through a little bit of our learnings about which souvenirs we use, and which ones we really enjoy having in our home. Even if maybe they don't get used every day, how we brought stuff home successfully, some of our favorites just generally, that sort of thing. So hopefully you guys are good with that topic and interested in it. If not, let us know that too. We can pivot. But we do have a few props too.
Yeah, it's actually funny because I looked to my left and I was like, oh, we got that as a souvenir. We also get that as a souvenir. Oh, she brought props. Okay, now I get it.
Props.
Now I get it. But yeah, so we got some props. I'm just gonna say, as always, my number one.
Are we lag? I think we maybe are having an issue. I'm seeing a lot of stuff.
Yeah, and we're losing people.
Now it says excellent connection.
Now it says
so
excellent.
Hopefully we're being excellent on our end. All right. Well,
Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure.
I hope you guys can all see us. Let us know in the chat if you're having issues, because I'm seeing a lot of potential issues happening. And we don't have our tech support here. It's
True.
me.
Yeah, she's our tech support. We're in trouble. Just kidding. She's great.
I'm pretty good at this, but I'm at a loss of what's happened last week and this week. I don't know why anything would have changed, because we have outstanding internet connection and everything.
Yeah, Nick is saying that it did crash and he had to reopen the video, but it does work now.
Okay.
So, and the numbers are going back up again, so it looks like people are tuning back in. So again, apologies. We're really feel bad about when things like this crash.
It does say excellent connection now, though.
Yeah.
So hopefully that means we are going to be golden moving forward.
Yeah.
Because before, like I was saying to you all, it was giving us weird errors. Silly YouTube, but those errors are gone. I just had to refresh.
So, but real quick before we get into all the souvenir stuff, what are we drinking tonight? We are drinking a Spanish Rioja from Costco, Kirkland branded.
They're pretty good.
We actually like it. It's a 2015. It's very nice. A little spicy, delicious. Highly recommend it.
And Derek baked chicken tonight, so it goes pretty well with the chicken.
Yeah, baked a chicken, like always, with lots of garlic.
Drew says for our IT help, he's flexible on his work rates, and I'll do his friends a discount. Love it. So Drew, I don't know if you've been on, we're going to be heading down more closer to Cincinnati, not Indianapolis, but we're going to be down there for a couple weeks at the end of August. So hopefully we can maybe socially distance, hang out, or even have you join and hang out during one of the live streams. That'd be super fun.
Yeah, that'd be great. Definitely plan to see your brother.
And another thing too that I think we're about to mention about what happened to us this week is we drove down to that place and back the past 48 hours. So it was 5 hours down to basically the Cincinnati area and back. So yeah, it's been a week, but if anybody has questions about road trips and stuff too, we're becoming pros. That's the shizzle.
Yeah, definitely with driving, lots and lots of driving. But so that's always fun. We're doing that. We're continuing to think through plans for at the end of the summer when we feel like we can actually get out and do some stuff. I think we're leaning more and more towards the UK idea to the extent that it's actually an available option.
Yeah. So Mo, surprise.
We might end up in the UK if we're still allowed to come to the UK, quarantine for the 14 days, and then see where we can go. So
we've been texting with the gallivanting gals. I don't know if they're going to join tonight, but we kind of started off as joking that we were going to go to the UK and do the 14-day quarantine, and now it's becoming more of a possibility. Just as things become trickier and trickier about traveling within the US and stuff like that. And it's really like it was nice to learn that the healthcare system could support travelers as well over there. So yeah,
Yeah, and Mo, congrats on passing your life in the UK test and gonna get your permanent residency. Congratulations!
That's so exciting.
Yeah, that's awesome.
That's great
really
news.
Cool.
And we will not be UK permanent residents ourselves if we get over there. That's for sure. We would just be there for a month or two.
Yeah. But we did see that I think up to 6 months we'd be allowed to stay, right? Isn't that what you said?
I don't recall.
Okay. Maybe not.
I wasn't looking at like the full duration, if I'm being honest. But maybe Derek was. Maybe
he was like, I don't know. Whatever.
I assume we're good. So, we probably have to be back in like January. I assume.
Oh yeah. No, we'd have to. Family, holidays, that
family
kind of thing.
Stuff, yeah.
But so that's what we're thinking, and that'd be pretty cool if we could do it. And I guess let's start talking a little bit about souvenirs, maybe.
Yeah. Oh, and hi Terry Finley, welcome to you.
Terry, welcome. Thank you.
And actually, Nick is asking Mo some questions that I'm going to be curious to hear the answers to, just about what all is on that
life in the
exam
UK test.
and is it history and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll be staying tuned in the chat. But we can jump into souvenirs for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I guess, I would start off with just my first thing when I think about it is the experiences and the, photographs. So for me, as all of you know, I'm a big fan of, taking photography, taking pictures, Instagram, all that good stuff, not speaking.
He's such a fan, he can't think of the word.
I'm just lost for words. No, so I love photography, right? So, that's actually what my business card says, photographer and content creator.
I know!
And, so for me, one of the big things I can do is go try to, see the pretty things, take those pictures, find creative ways, capturing that and, bringing it home and, maybe one day blowing it up, printing it and sticking it on the wall. So to me, that's the best because it's something that I've created and I like that. And it's something that we experienced together and we can think back to it.
And so that kind of dovetails to what I was going to add is when I was in high school and college and definitely did not have a lot of spare money to spend on souvenirs, one of the things I started collecting when I would go places was postcards. And that was kind of before the iPhone, digital camera phase where you always are going to be taking pictures everywhere you go.
Yep.
There'd be the Kodak things that you have to go get developed. So for me, at that point in my life, not only was it a cost savings to bring home postcards because they could be 50 cents each or something at that time, but also would have just phenomenal images of those places. So I love just finding my old postcard collection and going through them, seeing what I was drawn to at that time, that sort of thing. So then, I guess probably starting when I lived in London and studied there and worked there when I was in college, I started thinking through a little bit more of okay, what kind of things would I want to bring back from a bigger trip like that? And I made some mistakes. I brought back some sweatshirts that I never really wear that say London on them and stuff. And I feel we're all kind of guilty of getting those I don't know, place things. And so I brought two hats, if you want to grab them, Derek, that kind of show the difference between I actually really like things that say places on them, but there can be a huge difference in how gaudy they are.
Hey,
and what your style is.
This one's a beautiful.
Derek bought me this one.
Yeah, it's so good.
At the Amsterdam airport. But yeah, as you can see, it's loud.
I also got her one from Singapore.
Yeah, and it's a very similar design, just different colors. And it says Singapore. This one's super understated, so I'm kind of showing you everything that runs the gamut. So this one, if you look really close, it says Capilano Suspension Bridge.
Oh,
and yeah, from when we went to Vancouver. I wear this hat all the time when I go hiking and stuff like that.
It's a great hat.
Because in pictures, I might be in, say, Utah, I might not be wanting to wear a Canada hat in that photo, but you can't really tell in the photo. I just am the only one that knows. And then there's like other things that we own that is, in the middle ground. We have like hats from Miami and from Delaware and stuff like that just kind of have the words on them, not flashy flowers. But I mean, sweatshirts are great too if you know that you're going to wear them. I always wear my Oxford University sweatshirt all the time, but I never wear my London sweatshirt. And I think it's just knowing your own personal style and what you're going to actually wear at home is something that I had to learn time after time of traveling and getting stuff like that.
Yeah. It'll tell us if the audio is still working, because it looks like we're... Oh, maybe...
I think we're okay. I mean, I can see it's moving right there.
Oh.
So unless it's disconnected in YouTube.
I'm just... I don't know.
But let us know if it's not for you guys, because for us, it's showing us that we are good on audio.
I will say, though, with the lag, it does have me very much, like, mindful of my face to try not to have that be how it pauses on me.
And it says we're still on excellent connection, but we're losing people. So, I don't know.
Oof.
I'm going to refresh again. YouTube. What are you doing to us?
You to the tube.
It says excellent connection yet again. Well, I don't know. I don't know what's going on here. And then Terry says for her we're buffering. Drew says audio is fine, but the video is lagging periodically. But right now it's telling us excellent connection in the YouTube side of things. So hopefully you guys heard my spiel.
Yeah.
I went through a lot of info about just like how I approach buying hats and sweatshirts and stuff of different places. But we also have other clothing items too. So something else that we ended up planning in advance was we wanted to get custom leather jackets made for us in Argentina.
Well, let's take a step back and just talk about a couple of things. So like different types of things that you can get almost anywhere is like the branded place type clothing, hats, etc. Right?
Like you could get those in like suburbs.
Yeah,
I know that you walk into the Walgreens in the town that I'm from and it says like Hinsdale, Illinois.
or like, Starbucks cups that, have the different places on them, things like that you can get in a lot of different places.
Those are fun to go into people's homes who have like the big Starbucks collection and see everywhere that they've been. We approach it slightly differently, don't do Starbucks, but we'll get mugs from different places.
Yeah. But what I wanted to say with this is that then there's the other type of souvenir, which is the things that are specific to a location. So like a very special thing to get when you go to Argentina. You can get, custom leather jackets. If you go to Florence, you want to go and get some leather handbag or something, or a leather satchel or whatever. Go to Como, you want to get silk because it has a long history of silk goods. So that's what I was saying, is that then there's like another level, which is not something that's necessarily branded for that location, but it's something that comes from that place and has a special reason why you got it there.
So like wool fisherman sweaters in Ireland, or leather goods in Florence from the Florence leather market. I mean, we loved going to Argentina to get our leather jackets. It's something we literally planned to do for like 2 years after watching how to do it on a travel show. So it was just really important to us. And we left room, because we did 3.5 weeks in South America and just CarryOns. We left room in our CarryOns specifically knowing that we wanted to buy jackets.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's something that you need to strategize about, and if you know that you're the kind of person who buys souvenirs, you want to think through in advance how you're likely going to get those souvenirs home. Because something like a sweatshirt, either you're going to wear that thing home on the plane, which is totally doable, or you need to make sure there's room in your luggage, because clothes, sweatshirts, that like wine, they take up space.
Yeah. Well, especially wine, right? Because you can't carry that
Hi,
on, so
Katie
you'd have
Smith.
to check it, and you have to make sure that if you're checking it, you check it in such a way that you're confident that it's not going to break in the luggage, because that would be a
Yeah.
pretty bad surprise to have when you get home.
Yep.
So yeah, so all of that stuff is great from a souvenir perspective, and things that I've really appreciate doing more and more is like the specific things, and one of them is right here. But like when we went to China, we went a little overboard in the amount of tea that we bought, and it's really good tea.
You're going like so out of order in terms of organizing this.
No, but this is similar. This is like
okay, sure.
Like when you go to China, you buy tea.
Oh, okay. Yep.
I don't know.
Hi, Dad. By the way, I didn't say hi to you earlier.
And Katie Smith.
Yay, Katie. So, yeah, so we're talking about souvenirs. We're talking about the ones that we've liked, the ones that maybe we don't use as often, and how we are, had an experience getting stuff home. So, let us know, too, like, in the chat as we go along, have you bought sweatshirts or hats or something like that and not worn them once you get home, or, something of that sort?
Well, I mean, like, one thing that I can think of that, like, I don't think we've ever used is when we went to the Cotswolds and we bought like a tea. What are the like tea placemat things? What are those called? Tea.
Oh, like a tea towel?
Yeah, we bought like a tea towel from the
we
Cotswolds.
don't use tea towels.
That has like different villages from the Cotswolds like on it. Yeah, we never used that.
I thought we gave that to somebody. I don't think we have it. I thought that was a gift.
No wonder we haven't used it.
No, but we definitely
Maybe we gave that to your parents. Al,
No,
did we give that to you?
We definitely have London ones.
Might have
like
given that to my grandma.
I think you're thinking of the London ones. But yeah, so we don't really use tea towels. It's not like the way that we decorate our home.
Yeah.
So we've learned, even though I've come across beautiful tea towels in lots of different locations, they're just so fun and pretty affordable. But we've just learned not to purchase them. Another thing too is like, I really think the little tiny spoons are super cute. And I bought one that has like the Elizabeth Regina logo emblem when I was at Buckingham Palace, and I don't think I've ever even taken it out of the box. But when I'm like there, I think that the little spoons are so cute. I really just like, I don't know, it makes me happy. So just having that, and especially because Queen Elizabeth might not live forever, like I'm happy to have it. Maybe she will live forever. She's probably going to outlive all of us, but maybe she won't. So it's something that delights me, and I'm glad, but we don't use it every day. We always have to like find a space for that kind of stuff.
Nick D, how you doing, bud? Welcome to the party.
Hi, Nick D.
Yeah, no, I mean, so, yeah, you're going to be that person that has, like, the thing on the wall one day with all the little spoons.
I only have one little spoon because I know that I don't really use them.
Well, you don't buy them to use.
I know.
To, like,
you're supposed to collect
show
them, I
off.
think. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
So, we do have some stuff up here, though, that people have been telling us, so we should probably get to some of these before we
Ryan
get too
Donahue,
far behind.
Hello. Ruth Armstrong, hello. Sorry if we've missed anyone else saying hi, too. We'll get there.
All right, so real quick, because I think this is interesting, Lori Sims is saying, went to Korean barbecue dinner on Saturday and could not eat and cook our own food at the table, but it was brought to the table outside. It was great to be out in beautiful SoCal.
Yeah,
so that's cool.
I bet the weather there is so good. I know that a lot of restaurants in Southern California already were set up with outdoor seating, so thankfully you probably have a lot of options there, which I'm very jealous of. Korean barbecue, though, that's an experience that you would want to do at the table.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's fun to cook
I'm
it
actually,
yourself.
Yeah, that's fascinating to know that they're switching that around.
Nick P is saying that the best souvenir he bought was his replica Mayflower from Plymouth, England. It made it back safely with me stuffing my clothes around it in my suitcase from England to Newark and the Amtrak home from NYC to Minnesota. So that's great, and that actually just comes down to the idea of being able, being prepared and, ready to, when you buy something, having a way to get it back safe and sound. So,
and something that's
important.
Special, too, because I know for him that would be such a meaningful thing to have.
Gallivanting Gals, welcome. Glad to have you.
We're chatting about souvenirs. I'm sure you guys have some interesting stories to tell about that. So I was just we were saying beforehand too about how like getting things in certain places based on like what the local industry is really neat. When I was in Ireland, and I know you guys love Ireland, I ended up buying like a hand knitted wool beanie, mostly because I was cold, but also because I really wanted something from there. But I'm curious if you guys have ever bought like a sweater from Ireland or something.
All right. Darien is saying that he loves collecting wall plates from Germany as well as cuckoo clocks and T-shirts. That's cool.
That's fun. Cuckoo clocks, that would be tricky to get home too. So I wouldn't.
There's a lot of mechanical stuff there.
Yeah, and do you go to like the place to mail them back and ship them back for yourself, or do you bring them into your suitcase?
Yeah, no, I don't know. Yeah. We'll find out. Stay tuned for more. Mark Finley saying that he came home with a trunk full of cheer wine. Does that count? I don't know what cheer wine is, but yeah, sure.
Where is it?
Mark Finley.
Oh, Mark Finley. Oh, yeah, up there. Nice. Yeah. I think that's from the U.S. I think that's from their trip.
Yeah, wine. I count wine as a souvenir. It's a time and place.
I brought up the wine suitcase too, if you want to show that during that conversation. But
Thomas Reiser.
Go get the wine suitcase. I want to talk about wine while we're talking about wine.
I want to catch up a little bit.
Can you please go get the wine suitcase because I can't get around you?
I am taking up a lot of space right now. All right, Thomas Reiser though says that he gets reusable.
Like right there on the other side of it. Oh god, now he's putting on his leather jacket from Argentina. Derek's putting on the props now.
How cool do I look?
When we went to Sonoma, Napa, we wanted to bring home a lot more wine.
I walk in and they're like, sucker, we're going to sell him some stuff.
And so we got this wine suitcase.
Chateau Montelena branded wine suitcase with wheels.
It fits like a case of wine. So what we've ended up doing is getting like either asking the vineyard, or if we're in like France or something, we'll go into a wine shop and ask them to give us one of their old boxes from a shipment. And so it fits perfectly like a small box case of wine. And you can have like the little wine carriers too, and you can put those pretty easily into a suitcase and everything folds down.
And it's a little padded, so that's good from an insulation standpoint as well as just it's less likely to break things.
Yeah.
But as long as you pack it with the right kind of there's two kinds that are pretty popular. One is just the cardboard box with cardboard inserts, which is pretty safe. Actually, when you order wine delivered, that's a lot of the ways how it gets delivered, and it ships across country that way. Another way to do it is with, and this is slightly less environmentally friendly, but from from the standpoint of like climate control, I think it's a little bit better because of the insulation, is styrofoam. So there's styrofoam inserts that you can also get for these.
Although one time Derek brought styrofoam inserts, I think it was to Italy.
Hey, headphones. That's fine.
Derek just found his headphones in his leather jacket.
I was wondering where those were. It's getting hot.
Yeah.
And it's not just me.
Let me finish the story. So he brought the styrofoam inserts to Italy, and we were in a very, very small hotel room. I'm giving him total credit for this, and like our stuff was everywhere. And he put the styrofoam inserts right next to the garbage can that was in like the main room. It was like next to the garbage can and next to the suitcases because there was no space. I mean,
it was by the suitcases.
Yeah, and so the housekeepers threw away the styrofoam.
I was so pissed.
And we had all this wine.
I was so pissed.
And so
because we hadn't bought any wine yet.
Oh, okay.
Was the issue.
I don't remember.
Because otherwise the wine would have been in with the styrofoam.
Okay.
So the issue was we hadn't bought any wine yet. It was the first day on our trip.
All the way to Italy.
And we get to our room and I'm like, there was a styrofoam box, where did it go? And they're like, housekeeping threw that away. I was like, oh my god. What are we going to do? And that's when you find out. You just ask, and maybe somebody has a wine box that they can give you if you buy enough bottles of wine.
Yeah, or you just go to the wine shops. Anyway,
but they're not going to give it to you if you don't buy it.
That's a story. Make sure you're very careful about what you put near a garbage can, not just in a garbage can, in your hotel room.
So upset. Okay.
Derek's like, I gotta leave. I'm so
still
angry.
mad. So Nick P is saying that his suitcase is kind of like a souvenir because he had to purchase it in Paris when his suitcase broke in Bayeux, France.
Oh, that sucks.
Rough.
I can't remember. I feel like we've had to purchase suitcases before on the road.
Sure, probably.
You gave away a suitcase. We've already told that on this.
We've told that story.
We've told that on this.
Gave away a brand
Livestream
new
before.
first use suitcase.
I've bought suitcases at airports though before too.
So real quick, Mo said that the history that's covered is the UK and some of Ireland. It goes back a few thousand years, and study about the monarchy, etc.
Nice. Well, good job.
Crazy.
Passing.
That's awesome.
That's incredible.
That's
Cheers
really
to
cool.
you.
Drew is asking, did you ever collect stamps?
Did you ever collect stamps?
No.
He collects coins.
Books, coins.
He loves Roman coins too. So I ended up buying him some cufflinks.
Yeah.
With
but
Roman coins on them.
I guess it's stamps of what? I mean, stamps in our passport, yes.
Yeah, that's true.
Actual stamps, not so much. I feel like my grandfather collected some stamps. Your grandfather collects, I don't know. But no, I never did. But that would be cool to get stamps from different countries. That'd be pretty neat.
Yeah. And Mo says he collects snow globes, which that's also cool, and it feels like it's
small.
like, yeah, that'd be super quaint too, to be able to have like a little snow globe collection from all these different places. I love that.
So I just read Klaus's thing, which is why my face got a little funny, which was, my only souvenir has been a boomerang. It's a must-have when you visit ... the Czech Republic. Not what I was expecting.
Which is
I was
so
thinking
close to Australia. Yeah. Maybe he made a boomerang in Instagram.
I don't know. That was a nice joke.
I tried. It was a stretch.
And Drew was telling us to donate the Amsterdam hat to the Chicago Art Museum.
I mean, it's a piece of art.
I think you mean the Art Institute of Chicago, sir. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, that's cool. So Terry saying, one of the ministers I work for bought me one from Argentina. I guess now I need to go. I'm assuming you mean
Fun. Oh wait, what is
boomerang from Argentina?
Boomerang.
No, I'm kidding.
I'm about to search for my souvenir spoons.
Spoons.
So I'm guessing it's the spoon.
Yep.
Her mom used to collect them, and so now she started her own. Now
that's
we've
cool.
traveled a bit. Yeah.
That's really cool.
I know
Terry.
a lot of people collect the spoons, and it's fun to even just walk into the tourist shops and see them. And that's another one that's like a tea towel that you can kind of find everywhere.
Yeah. So Nick P is saying that he's been to the Capilano Suspension Bridge. The bridge is very interesting to cross. Yeah, it's interesting in its ways. People freak out a little bit on it.
I got kind of freaked out because there was so many people. We went in, I think, August, and it was just very, very crowded.
Super popular. But if you're going there, actually, there's a really cool like salmon fishery that you can go to, and you can see kind of like how the hatching process and all that kind of stuff works, and it's like really close by. So
I like after you cross the
Check it
Capilano
out.
Suspension Bridge too. There's kind of this rainforest area that has different bridges built within the trees, and you can be kind of like in the tall trees.
there's also a section that we actually didn't go on because I think there's like a line to get to it. But there's another spot that's like hugs the cliff, and it has a like a glass floor that you walk on, so you can like you look down and you see like way down.
I think there's so many great places
neat.
to visit in Canada. I really hope that the Canadian border opens up for us, when Derek and I start traveling, so that way we at least have some options, because we would love to make it to Banff, we would love to make it to Nova Scotia, Toronto. Neither of us have been to Toronto or Montreal. We've just been to Vancouver and Quebec City. Right? That's it?
What? Canada.
Huh?
Yeah.
Oh my
no.
gosh.
Quebec City and Vancouver. That's where we've been to in Canada.
What?
Supposed to go on a business trip to Toronto once, but got sick, so not good. Lori Sims says that she bought a ring and pendant in Prague that are only found there from a Merido thousands of years ago. A beautiful dark green pendant I had set with a diamond to complement it.
Beautiful.
That's very cool.
Lori, that sounds awesome.
That sounds awesome.
And you remind me when I was telling our roommate Megan, what the topic was tonight, because she's on a bunch of calls, she can't join. She was saying to definitely mention jewelry. And what was funny is because I never really buy jewelry myself while I'm traveling, because I typically only buy it at like one jewelry show once a year that I go to in Tucson. So for those people who don't go to that show, I'm sure buying jewelry other places is super fun.
Yep.
So for a good example that kind of like, because Megan was saying, make sure you talk about buying jewelry that maybe has like gemstones that feel very local or something like that. So I know that there's places kind of in Northern Europe that maybe has like amber. But the one thing that I thought was really relatable when she was telling me about this was that when we were in Chile, we bought Derek a pair of cufflinks that he's like so devastated because he lost them.
I can't find them.
But they were really nice and really expensive.
They were expensive.
Cufflinks.
So painful.
That were a specific type of lapis, like a blue lapis stone, that is only found in Chile and Afghanistan.
They're very pretty.
They're
I'm
gorgeous.
really upset.
Well,
yeah.
we'll go back.
Oh,
it's
well.
fine.
Just gotta go back.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was nice.
But yeah, so
they were super nice.
It felt super tied to the local
Yeah.
culture, because you knew that you could really only get that there, and it was handcrafted there and stuff like that.
Yeah, so those are super cool. Still bummed about that, but oh well. Way to bring that one up.
But I mean, that's kind of the MO that I was trying to talk about. Is
Alan
we were
A.
so pleased to have those.
Alan A is saying that they're planning to travel to their balcony tonight
Ooh.
to try to see the comet.
Is the comet still around? Oh, good. Okay.
We might need to go.
We might need to go to that balcony.
Katie Smith, hello.
He started to sing.
Thomas Reiser saying that he uses the reusable grocery bags that he buys. Oh, what just happened?
Yeah, something happened. Oh no, we're okay, I think.
No,
I was looking at your thing.
Oh no.
Okay. Guys, this has been such a tech night. Thank you for staying in with us. If things go wrong, we seem to be able to press refresh, and the feed kind of like resets, and like the lags go away for a while. So if you start seeing things getting a little dicey during this, well, just like if you guys press refresh, maybe we've already pressed refresh, and then we're back in action. But there's definitely something happening with YouTube tonight. We've already had to redo a couple of things a few times.
Yeah, I'm gonna. Yeah, it looks like it crashed for a bunch of people. So sorry again, guys. This is
YouTube
frustrating
is
on
being
our end.
So rude.
But I think it's.
Because
I just closed it and reopened it. So if you do that, is there a way that you can pin a comment maybe to the top that says, "Hey, if it crashes, like."
I don't know, but I can type something in.
I don't know. But let's talk about one thing right here, which is that Terry Finley says that she has 9 spoons on display so far for her spoon collection. So that's pretty cool. Cool. Warning, the stream's a bit wide.
Yeah.
Alright, but
YouTube
I'm seeing
keeps
it.
giving
Like,
us
if
a
I
weird
wave
warning.
now, I'll know that it's happening currently. Yeah, Catherine Rada.
Kathy's on.
Kathy!
Awesome.
Kathy. Gallivanting Gal says it's
for
happening
her.
now. And I see my wave happen, which it's
We
fun
are
to
not
see the-
having storms again, by the way, Lori Sims. I don't
Yeah.
know what is up. Actually, I am going to text Megan and just ask her if she's on Zoom. But you want to just catch up with the chat while I do that?
Do you want me that you should go have a chat with her?
No, because I think she might be having a Zoom date.
Ooh, never mind. Awkward. All right.
I don't want to walk in on that.
All right. So Nick P, I love my Dublin and London sweatshirts. I wear them often when the weather is appropriate for it. So that's cool. And Ronnie Dove, I think Ronnie, we already said hi, but just in case, hello again. And he says, hello all, back in Texas, unfortunately. Thought I'd pop my head in for a bit. So thank you for joining us, Ronnie.
Hi, Ronnie.
Alan A asked a pretty funny question, which I really enjoy, which is it cheating to order stuff online and place names that we'd like to go? So order a sweatshirt to Amsterdam because you want to go.
I think it's fine.
Do it. Why not? It's fun.
Especially if that's how you can travel vicariously these days.
I mean, that's what we're all doing right now, right? So, yeah, it looks like it might have done it again, so just...
Okay, we're going to try to plow through some of these chats because we're definitely... YouTube's giving us some grief tonight.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on.
And we don't want to have you guys keep having to jump in with us.
Yeah, because it's frustrating. So we'll probably call it really short tonight.
Yeah.
Because something's going on with our bandwidth.
But, let's catch up. It looks like we're okay now, maybe? It just says good. Yeah. Something's up with YouTube. We'll have to do some tests and stuff, because this happened last week, but this week is even worse. I don't know what's up.
Oh, and Thomas Rouser just answered my question, which is what is cheerwine? And it's soda from the Carolinas.
Cheerwine is a soft drink. Nice.
Oh, that's cool.
Oh, that's cool. That's a fun thing to bring home, too, is like local food, beverages. I love bringing home cheese from Amsterdam. Like the aged Gouda that you can find in the cheese shops in the Canal District.
It has like those little like crystals
Game over.
in it.
It's so
almost.
good. It's so good. You can't find anything like it in the U.S. That's for sure.
Yeah, the Gouda here is a little bit different. Not quite as nice.
The Gallivanting Gals got, yes, wool sweater, hats, scarves, Irish linen. Okay, I knew it. I knew that you guys would be into that.
And Megan Morris says that Chateau Montalana is one of her favorites. So that's very cool. It's actually one of my favorites too. I really enjoyed it. Beautiful place. Love the movie Bottle Shock, or I think that's what it's called.
Yep, Bottle Shock.
Super cool.
With Alan Rickman.
Alan Rickman, R.I.P. And we've belonged, since we went there, we belong to their wine club, and we get it delivered each year, 6 bottles of their State Cabernet. It's super yummy. We haven't opened a single bottle since we belonged yet. We're aging it to perfection, I hope. But then, we'll drink a glass
we
of
love
it.
that vineyard. It's super fun to visit if you guys are ever in Napa.
It's very picturesque.
And then Drew said that you look like John Travolta in Grease with that leather jacket.
Grease lightning.
I feel like Derek would take that as a massive compliment.
Oh, God. I loved Danny Zuko, or whatever his name was.
Nick D says, I wonder if there's a popular regional soda for each state. That could be an interesting collection. Cheerwine would probably be for South Carolina. Yeah.
Interesting.
I don't know if Illinois has a regional one.
RC Cola.
Is that an Illinois only thing?
Well, it's the Crown family, and they're a Chicago family, so
Fascinating.
I assume so. Yeah, RC was like both my grandmas drank RC.
What about Indiana? Does Indiana have one?
No, it's regional.
But he said for each state.
Oh, I don't know. Probably not. Not that I'm aware of.
That might be a few too many. Like 50 total regional sodas would be maybe a little bit challenging, especially for small states like Delaware and Rhode Island. But I think if we expanded a little further, I bet we could get there.
National Soda of Delaware is Dogfish Head beer. Just kidding.
Oh, by the way, let's talk about CO2 drinks for a hot second. So we stopped at the McDonald's in Lafayette, Indiana yesterday on our way home to Chicago, and they were not serving anything CO2 like that has basically that was carbonated. And so then we were like, okay, well, does that mean we can have an iced tea? And they're like, no. I'm like, that's not even carbonated. So.
I was like, what about coffee? They're like, no coffee.
And so it seemed like
they're like, we only have milk, chocolate milk, and apple juice. I was like,
which was super interesting to me because those are all the things that are pre-bottled. So I don't know if it was just that location, if you guys have experienced that in your travels, like, even if it wasn't just McDonald's. It wasn't, because they said it was because of the pandemic that they weren't doing it. But something seemed a little strange to me about that. So I would love to hear if you guys have experienced something like that too, because it seemed weird.
Okay, Brenna's on here.
Hi, Brenna.
We missed Brenna somehow.
Welcome. We're like a little behind.
Yeah,
and
we're a
things
little bit
are
behind.
glitchy. But thanks to everybody who's still on and staying with us.
Yeah, for people that have stuck with us, I really appreciate it.
Yeah, we're here with you guys, hanging out. So we're really appreciative of all of you. And I know this is a tricky one, but if you are liking this video, maybe it'll help YouTube if you press the like button down below. Maybe it'll be like, oh, maybe we won't give them so much grief tonight. So if you can press that thumbs up, that would be super cool, and even subscribe if you haven't already. But I feel like all of you guys are probably subscribed. But yeah.
Gallivanting Gals was asking Megan Morris how Asheville was, and Megan replied that it was really nice weekend escape, and she did a lot of hiking and had some great meals, and that people and businesses seem to be taking things seriously with a high percentage of mask wearing. So that's awesome.
Good. That is awesome.
It's good to know.
And Megan, we were on our drive seeing a ton of like horse trailers and stuff in between Cincinnati and Chicago. I don't know if there's a lot of movement with horses right now, but I feel like you would know the answer to that. It made me think of you because we kept seeing so many horses everywhere on the highway. Yeah. So what?
Cool.
Have we caught up? No, we haven't. Okay.
No. But we froze again on mine.
And Brenna are on. I'm so happy about that.
So Brenna said that she bought a suitcase in Portugal last year solely for bringing wine home. It was really good, actually. It was actually really good, given that it was only 30 euros in a gift shop.
Nice. That is really good.
Nice.
I ended up buying a suitcase maybe 10 years ago now, but it was in the Tucson airport for sale, and it was like, I think it was on sale for $15. It was a roller duffel that fit, carry-on standards. Oh my gosh, I used that thing to the ground. I probably got like a, 5-cent cost per use on that suitcase. It was such high quality. I think it was originally like $70, and it was just so discounted. So you can find some really good deals if you just are at the right place at the right time with those airports.
Yeah. Nick D's letting us know that because we're in Chicago, we should stop talking about wine and start talking about Malort.
Yep, yeah.
Which is funny because I've never had Malort. Did you?
I've had like one shot and it was nasty. I would never ever do it again.
Is it like a licorice type?
I mean, it's just...
I've never had it. But
it's
a lot
unpleasant.
of people here do it. It's a thing in Chicago.
I'm sorry if you like it and I just offended you. Something tells me nobody's gonna really die hard defend it right now, but if you really love it, I am sorry. I'm sorry.
This is the hill I will die on.
Yeah, Malort is the tastiest thing I've ever had.
It's just scrumptious.
Oh.
When people tell me...
I've never, ever heard anybody describe Malort as scrumptious. That's just...
Scrumptious.
That would be like you have... That's just... No.
Alright. Maybe not.
Yeah, but if you're in Chicago, people still drink Malort despite it being disgusting. Kind of like, it's like the UK's Scrumpy, where Scrumpy's like 13% alcohol cider, and it's basically made with like the rotten apples. and they make tourists taste it and watch their faces scrunch up about how yucky it is. That's kind of what happens with Malort here in Chicago.
Yeah. Mo is saying that he collects coins, and he's really interested in older coins.
Of course he collects coins.
And he
you
always
guys
checks
are the same.
the date on them. Yeah, me too. We're actually having a coin shortage here in the U.S. right now because, a lot of the places that are more typically all cash type establishments have had their, have been seriously...
I saw a really funny meme yesterday about it, as Derek tells you about it. But it's from Anchorman. It's not to brag, but I have toilet paper and coins.
Yes.
That's where we're at here.
And the rich smell of mahogany. But yeah, no. So like because a lot of these businesses that typically are more cash type businesses like fast food places, etc., dollar stores and stuff have severely had their stuff cut down in terms of like when they've been able to be open and going cashless and stuff to like have less like touching of things, and so there's like a massive shortage of
coins. Just aren't in circulation as they usually would be.
Well, there's still a ton.
And also, hello to Travel Best Destinations. Thank you for joining.
Hello.
I'll let Derek continue with his.
I was just going to say, technically, there's a ton of it still in circulation, but it's not making it to the stores because people aren't paying in cash right now. So, okay, what else do we got?
When we went to Kroger in Indiana, they actually weren't accepting coins either. I don't think.
Yeah. So, Galvin Gaz is saying, so Tracy has a TShirt obsession. She has a T-shirt from everywhere we have been. It's ridiculous, really. She must have her own closet just for those T-shirts.
So I got to a point where I've started kind of collecting a very specific, very soft kind of T-shirt from the national parks. Not the cotton ones that we're all really used to, but they're much thinner, and in my opinion, they're really good for sleeping. And so I bring these national park T-shirts with me everywhere when I travel, basically as like sleep shirts. And so that's where another example of, for me, because I don't wear T-shirts on a day-to-day basis, like I wear more stuff like this, that's still cotton, it's just like not a T-shirt. That's how I've found that I use those types of souvenirs. And so I've started to shift to like, okay, I walk into a souvenir shop and that's what I'm looking for.
I sleep in my polos.
You've worn your like Moab T-shirt and stuff though, even on these live streams before. You like the T-shirts.
I do really like what Melinda is saying right now about Tracy, and that her aunt is going to make a quilt out of like 14 of the shirts. So that'll be cool. And that's a really neat way to do that.
I wanted to do that with my sorority T-shirts because I never wear them, and we have so many.
Alex Capico, welcome to JV Friday, as we like to call it here.
Hi, Alex. Welcome. Hope everything's going well in California.
Very cool. Lori Sims says that her passport is a great souvenir with lots of stamps.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Darien from Germany Travel Personal Guide says Argentina is on his list for future travels. Definitely you should go. And there's a lot Argentina of German rocks. Stuff in Argentina, actually.
Yeah, if you go to like Bariloche in more southish, it's like the northernmost piece of like Patagonia, if you want to think of it that way. It's also called like the gateway to Patagonia because a lot of people fly into there because they have a decent airport. That was like, there's a huge German-Swiss population there because a lot of German immigrants came there in like the late 1800s and really kind of like founded that area. So a lot of the architecture there is kind of like Alpine Lodge type looking stuff, which is pretty cool. And there's like a big beer culture, chocolate, all that good stuff. So highly recommend it.
Yeah. Thomas says, speaking of T-shirts, he's wearing a Walters World shirt.
Hey,
nice. Yeah,
nice.
they make some good T-shirts.
And it's soft. It's like that same kind of material.
And they're from Champaign-Urbana, too. So Thomas is buying local, really. Yeah. He's supporting the local business owners, which is great. We've bought, like, had a couple of Means to Travel T-shirts made and just really have them for us and close family members. Maybe someday we'll get to the Walters World level. Definitely not yet.
Yeah, we don't have like super comfortable ones. We need to get
we need to get a new supplier.
Yeah. We need to talk to Mark about his supplier. Galvan Gaz, when we were in Venice and went to Murano and bought a really awesome piece that was hand blown, so you're talking about the glass.
Yes. Oh, the Venetian glass.
It is supposed to be a gondola, but it looks more like a canoe. Still super cool. That's funny.
But it's really from Venice.
That's really neat.
That's the thing. And we've had, we have like a few things that we've bought from different places that are like local artisans, and you want to support it. Even, for example, that Mexican creamer thing. I still haven't picked this one up yet. Sorry, Derek's kind of like having to get everything for me. But for example, this creamer is from Mexico, hand painted there. However, this was another thing of like, I thought it was beautiful, so I got it, but I don't use cream in my coffee. So I think this has only been used like one time because we ended up putting creamer, like dairy-free creamer in.
But it is lead-free.
Lead-free Mexico, yeah. But it's fun to just support the local artisans when you're at places that kind of specialize in certain crafts.
Kathy is saying that she also got a glass-blown gondola in Venice, and it reflects beautifully in the light.
Nice.
So that's cool.
I love that. And if you know that you're going to go someplace that specializes in like more breakable things, I mean, you can always pack bubble wrap, in your suitcase going there, knowing that maybe you want it to have a little bit of extra padding. But if you spontaneously buy something, you can wrap it in sweatshirts or scarves or whatever clothing soft item that you have in order to protect it in your suitcase. We, knock on wood, have not really had any. We collect more travel mugs, and we have not had any of our mugs break, including this one.
Real quick, Tom Shaner, welcome.
Welcome, Tom.
Glad to have
Thanks for joining. We're chatting about souvenirs right now.
Because we're a little bit behind, so just want to make sure we said hi.
Yeah, and sorry if we've missed anybody, but we're getting there.
Ryan Donahue, you joined a while ago, and I think I don't know if we said hi, but hi! Glad to have you.
I definitely said hi, but I know that things have been going in and out for us, unfortunately, on this live stream, so hi again.
And Megan Morris is saying, Derek hasn't crossed the border from Detroit to Windsor on one of his business trips, or when he was under 21 to take advantage of those Canadian drinking laws, LOL. Nah, I was in a fraternity. It didn't matter too much. We drank other places. In terms of Windsor,
You also had a brother who was 2 years older than him. Matt was basically like 21 by the time you entered college.
Basically.
So.
Not that he would ever illegally procure
Matt,
alcohol
of course,
for his
never,
little brother. Jeez.
Never. Sorry.
Oh.
Don't. Yeah, he's a straight-laced gentleman.
Paragon of virtue.
That's it.
Never went to Windsor. Looked at Windsor when I was out there for the Detroit Auto Show, like last year. And it looked nice, I guess, but it was freezing cold, and I was there for business, so didn't make it. Lori Sims bought a new carry-on for my son and self last summer in Barcelona to bring back gifts from London and Paris cheap at €28. It has wheels that can come off to fit tight plane restrictions. That's cool.
Nice.
That's actually really neat.
Oh, I've never seen one that has removable wheels. That's actually really smart. I love that. My roommate, when I was studying abroad in London, ended up buying so many clothes when we lived there that she had to get like a giant duffel to fly home with. And I think it weighed like 50 pounds. And so she was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I bought this much. And I'm like, yeah, you did.
We don't buy a ton of stuff, like souvenirs and stuff. But what I do always say is, like, if we just go with carry-ons, I do say, like, worst case scenario, we buy something that we check. Or, like, we buy, like, a duffel and either check it or bring that as our carry-on and check one of our, carry-ons that we bring with us. Like, that's always, like, the worst case scenario to me. So.
Yeah, and when I was living there, all of us brought, like, 2 suitcases already, which is the maximum, with airlines before you really have to start paying. And the reason why I was telling that story is because this particular roommate of mine, she was awesome, but she bought a lot of stuff, and she then had a third full-size overweight basically suitcase, and so I think she ended up paying like $200 for that third suitcase to get home to the US, which was kind of a lot when you're in college. And I don't think she was planning on that. So yeah, she was like, man, I should not have bought all these Primark clothes. I think everything is just in the suitcase alone is worth $200.
I don't know what any of that stuff means. So gallivanting
Primark is like the low cost fashion store there.
Yeah, I don't know. Whatever. Gallivanting Gals is saying we also collect ornaments from everywhere we go, but we just started doing that last fall. So that's a really cool way, if you celebrate Christmas and you decorate a tree, it's a cool way to kind of add a little bit of your travels into your decorating. That's really cool. I like that idea.
Yeah. And I'm sure every Christmas it's so fun to take out all of your ornaments from everywhere.
Yeah, so Mo is saying that Connemara marble from Ireland is so beautiful. I mean, it's green marble, which is so Irish.
Love it.
That is, that's cool. And Thomas Reiser says that he used to go to Windsor for buying books not available here.
Oh, yeah.
Interesting. Contraband books.
Those Canadian books are
Canadian books.
hard to come by.
Nick P says that his favorite souvenir from Ireland is a piece of wood with his family coat of arms and Celtic history of the Irish surname Murphy.
Nice. I brought home from Scotland a bunch of Armstrong, like, souvenirs and stuff, and I think the clan shops in Scotland get a bit of a bad rep of being very kitschy and stuff like that,
Yeah.
but as somebody who has Scottish history in my family, I thought it was super fun because, like, those things aren't available in the U.S. Like, you can't just walk into a store and buy something that has your family name on it, or family crest, or family tartan, or whatever. And so it was an experience. If you're not, like, Scottish, it probably feels different to walk into those stores, but because Derek has a little Scottish ancestry for him.
It does feel, I mean, even if you're going there for a specific thing, it feels kitschy. It feels that way, right? And doesn't mean you don't go there and you get the, Hamilton tartan scarf that's made out of cashmere and feel super soft. Because you still do it. Do you feel good doing it? Maybe not. But, it's interesting and
Yeah.
whatnot. So.
Yeah, and I would do that, if I had, like, something, in the Netherlands with my Dutch heritage, I would totally do that too, just because it adds a little bit of bonus to your travels.
Darien is saying to you that it looks like your cheese thing is his spaghetti ice.
Gouda, yeah.
It's funny because she's lactose intolerant.
I know, but I eat the cheese, and then I would probably eat the spaghetti ice in Germany too. I definitely have to go there and try it. I just kind of
Sounds
bring
good.
my Lactaid pills with me to Europe. Just say, I'm here.
Yeah, it's like
Give it to
escargot
me.
in France. Duh. Just give me the butter.
Yeah.
Straight in my veins. And Nick P starts his road trip in 2 weeks from today.
Yay, Nick! That's
gonna be
awesome.
really cool.
I can't wait to follow along.
Yeah, that's going to be really cool. And Gallivanting Gals is mentioning to Mo that she's been loving his photos lately. And for
Mo
those of you who don't
posted.
know, Mo has some really cool drawings that he does.
That's
which is
true.
very neat.
But I think he's been posting a few from around Northern Ireland too.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
I need to. I've been bad about Instagram lately.
I think it was on the Facebook group too.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if he's posted on Instagram or not. He might have.
Lori, thank you for saying that you're going to keep it going because we can all deal with a first world problem like having to restart the thing every once in a while.
Yeah, the refresh button's so easy to press, guys. Thank you
Yeah,
all so
thank
much
you.
for doing it. Love it.
Yes,
Love
we
you guys,
really
thank you.
appreciate it. And Nick P is letting us know that they have RC Cola up there a little bit. Yeah, it's a little bit more regional.
Yeah, more maybe Midwest or something.
I'm going to look up where it's located.
Kind of like a Portillo's level.
Yeah, but Portillo's
Regional.
definitely Chicago
Yeah.
based.
And Portillo's, I think, now is in, like, Phoenix and Florida and stuff, too. So they're so successful. They've expanded. Yeah, and then, so, just catching up. Megan Moore says, Ale 8-1 is the Kentucky soda. It's an acquired taste. Does it have a little bit of, like, whiskey in there? And then Gallivanting Gal says Tennessee Jack Daniels is the local drink. That checks out. We liked trying. Okay, so I would never go to a store and buy moonshine, but it was so fun to do a moonshine tasting when we were in Gatlinburg, and try all the different flavors and listen to the guys, rant and rave about all of their moonshine making and their family history of doing it and stuff like that. So there's something to be said about trying the local foods and the local alcohols, and when you go travel, and that in itself is a souvenir because you take home that memory and you have that experience kind of last forever. Because even when we were in Scotland 2 years ago, we went to a whiskey. It wasn't I've been to a whiskey distillery there, but we went to a whiskey store that had all the different Scottish whiskeys in there, and Derek did a tasting. He bought a really small bottle of whiskey, brought it home. We still have it. neither of us drink whiskey, but when we're in Scotland, we'll drink whiskey. And that's another thing, too, that we've learned. It's like, okay, so if we bring home alcohol, we need to figure out, like, what we're going to do with it.
True.
We don't drink hard alcohol, really.
Well,
unless we're, like, traveling.
Not often. We mix it with stuff more likely than anything else.
Yeah.
But, like, if you go to Scotland, you have to have, like, scotch, right? It's like a thing you
have
to do.
to. So
and I'm still upset.
If you go to Tennessee, you should have moonshine.
I'm still upset that when we went on our Scottish trip, our road trip through the Highlands, we never went to any of the, actual distilleries. That still bothers me. But.
Kathy... I'm sorry, I know that I'm really late on laughing about this, but she says she has an apron with the naked David statue. That's a good one. Because that's going to bring humor into all of your cooking endeavors, I'm sure.
Yeah. And I looked up Royal Crown, like RC Cola and stuff. I think I was told lies in the past, because it looks like maybe it started out in Georgia at some point in time. I don't know. But it was the first introduced Diet Right, which was Diet Cola. It was the first Diet Cola in like 1980.
Wow.
So, pioneers.
There you go. Okay, so people started responding to our McDonald's question. So the gals say they haven't seen that anywhere at the McDonald's. And Nick P says, must have been out of CO2. They must have been waiting for a new truck delivery, the air to run the machine. So that's what I thought was the case too. But they blamed it on the pandemic, which made it feel like strange. And the fact that they said they were out of CO2 drinks, but they were also out of tea. So, I don't know. And coffee. You could not order coffee either. Which, I mean, what McDonald's doesn't have coffee?
Yeah. So, Ryan Donahue saying, I think Massachusetts, the state drink is cranberry juice, since we grow a lot of cranberries.
Ocean spray?
Ocean spray.
Yeah, I'm connected with a photographer based out of Boston, and he did a quick run last fall to, like, the cranberry bogs. Oh my gosh, his photos on Instagram were so cool of all of the cranberry stuff. And we were joking back and forth. I'm like, oh man, I haven't seen this outside of an Ocean Spray commercial.
That's cool. Lori Sim says that she would buy her ex unique handkerchiefs because she is from the South and they still carry them. Nice. That's cool. Yeah, I always found handkerchiefs to be gross. If somebody offered me a handkerchief, I'd be like, yeah.
It probably wouldn't.
When did you last wash
pass the hygiene standards of 2020, but
no, not in the COVID world. Keep your handkerchief to yourself. Spray with some Lysol. I don't know. Just like dab it with.
Don't invest in handkerchief companies, guys. Stock tips. Is it handkerchief or handkerchief?
Potato. Tomato. So, Terry Finley says, "Oh man, we missed out on eating at Bojangles on our vacation."
Oh, really? I thought you guys were looking forward to that.
But they did eat at Cookout all through North Carolina and Tennessee.
Never
which
heard
I'm
that
not
one.
as familiar with Cookout. I know that it is like a chain in the South, but I don't know what they do.
Because you've been to both North Carolina and Tennessee a bunch.
Yeah.
So I'm surprised you haven't tried it.
My family's...
I've been to Tennessee twice now, but never North Carolina. I feel like I say this every live stream. I gotta get myself to North Carolina. Got Carolina on my mind.
Carolina. Meg Moore says, horse scene is always strong here in Kentucky. Came home from Asheville to no AC, so I had to stay at the local Marriott for a few days, and there were many people staying there for equestrian business.
There you go.
That makes sense.
I think.
And you've got family that's in the equestrian business, so that makes sense.
Yeah. Well, she's in Lexington, which is like a pretty big horse capital.
Yeah. Well, she said that her parents have a hobby farm and that her cousins, I think, do
I've
like
invited
thoroughbreds.
myself to that farm.
So that's pretty cool.
Oh, I'm aware.
Nick P is saying that he always picks up fridge magnets on every trip, which is cool.
That's cool. I actually used to really, really like collecting magnets. I thought it was super fun. We have several from a lot of trips. But Derek's upset with me because I didn't realize that refrigerators, not all of them are magnetic. And so we moved into an apartment. Before we moved into this place, we moved into an apartment that did not have a magnetic refrigerator. And I was like, what do we do with all the magnets?
That didn't upset me because I actually don't like magnets on fridges. I think that they look
But then it
cluttered
shows
sometimes.
where you've been.
I don't know. It's my modern aesthetic or something.
I don't know.
I don't mind clutter in a lot of places. But.
My best friend, the flight attendant, Rachel, she, in her apartment when we lived in New York City, she had all of her magnets from all of her travels along the side of the fridge. So it wasn't on the front, but it was on the side, and it looked really cool. She had like them organized, very organized.
Cool.
They weren't like holding up things. They were literally like.
Cool. What else do we got? Yeah, so first of all, I agree with Terry Finley. Megan, sorry to hear about your AC. That sucks. Hopefully that's been fixed
And it
now.
was hot this past week. I can only imagine how hot it was in Lexington.
I assume it was hotter than here.
Yeah, but we
and
lost
it was
our
warm.
AC one point this summer. Remember, we had to get it serviced.
But we had AC in the basement, so
Yeah.
it was okay. Cool. Lori is saying that her fridge does not hold magnets either. And Tom, hello. We said hello earlier, but hello again because we finally just got down to here. And Terry's telling Ryan that she'd forgotten about the whole, we might have lost people again. Alright, guys.
I think we're back. You guys.
So Mark's on, and Mark is saying
Walter's World's on.
that the internet sucks at his parents' house, and just wanted to say hi and big hugs to the Means to Travel team. Dad got a new modem and it sucks. It seems like our modem sucks too.
You might just be having issues because our YouTube keeps crashing.
Yeah.
So it might not actually be their fault.
It's probably not their fault. It's ours.
But thanks to everybody who pressed refresh already. Because we pressed refresh, and that's just the name of the game tonight.
Yep.
So yeah, we have it kind of monitoring down here a little bit, but we noticed like all of a sudden it totally dropped. So sorry again. Not 100% sure where it dropped. This is going to be an interesting replay.
And for any of you watching this on replay,
yeah,
sorry.
if you're watching this on replay, cheers to you for sticking with it.
Yeah.
Because we actually get a significant number of people who watch our live streams on replay, and we definitely appreciate that too.
Yeah, Megan's saying that she got her stuff fixed with the AC, and when she got home and saw the thermostat said 83, she's like, I gotta get out of here. And I would agree, that'd be really hot.
That would be brutal. Oh man. Well, I don't know if Megan's still on. Oh yeah, Megan's here. Vagabondi's here. Bonnie's here from
Hey,
Canada.
Bonnie. We talked about the Capilano suspension bridge.
And then also, thanks to Mark for joining. We really, really appreciate Mark Walters jumping on.
Yep.
And say hi to Jocelyn and the boys. And it sounds like you're at your parents. So say hi to Kathy and your dad.
Travel Best Destination saying that they also collect Starbucks cups from different cities.
Love that.
That's cool.
I think I mentioned this
like
on
them a
a
lot.
previous live stream at one point, but one of my favorite times when we arrived in China and we were staying with one of my good friends, him and his partner both used to live in the Middle East. And so we arrived in China, like desperately needed coffee due to the jet lag. Go into his kitchen, and Derek and I basically were fighting over the Kuwait Starbucks mug. We were like, this is so cool. I've never seen a Kuwaiti mug before.
Yeah, that was cool.
And that was a pretty subtle flex of like, yeah, I've been to Kuwait.
Yeah, Nick D's saying that so I talked about how this says like lead free on it, and Nick D says that his picture says free lead. Should I be worried?
Yes.
Maybe.
Nick D has really funny jokes. I like Nick D's
witty.
commentary, yeah.
He's a witty guy. Which that's really funny. So Megan Morris is saying y'all need to hit up Jungle Gyms when you go to Derek's parents. They claim to be the world's largest grocery. It is an experience. Check it out.
Yeah.
I don't know if I really want to go to the world's biggest grocery right now, but
Sorry,
maybe.
where is it?
So,
Jungle Gyms.
Jungle Gyms.
Okay.
Sounds fun. So, Lori Sims is saying that she bought a glass bowl of Murano glass and candy while in Venice for my son, who has a candy tooth, which I think means sweet tooth. He likes candy. I hope he doesn't have a tooth made out of
tooth.
candy.
Like I'm just imagining those like necklaces that have the candy on them. It's like, oh man.
I was imagining a kid with candy corn as teeth.
Oh my gosh.
Like a grill.
I mean, that would be pretty nice, actually.
Candy corn, yuck. Tom Shaner is saying that Jungle Gyms is awesome.
We've never been to Jungle Gyms.
Never been. Gotta try it.
It's like, it kind of sounds like a even cooler Trader Joe's. There's like Trader Joe's
and Jungle Gyms. And then there's Joe Exotic. So that's also a thing.
He's Jungle Joe.
Jungle Joe. Travel Bus Destination is saying, interesting side note, I've created videos for my refrigerator magnets with explanations of each. Interesting. That's
cool. I love that.
And then Terry Finley is saying, sorry, Mark corrected me. April raised the temp to 87 in our house. What?
We just raised it for fun.
Oh, Terry is saying, at Megan Morris, April would have house sit for you. We went on vacation and she turned the thermostat to 80. Okay, and Mark said no, it was 87. Wow, that's hot.
That's hot.
That's a little too hot.
That is eco mode. At least your bill will probably not be too bad.
That's good.
Saving money. Gotta love daughters who help you save money, right?
Nick D's funny. Jungle Gyms, when you find yourself saying, where can I get some snake in this house?
Oh. Oof.
Oh, God, that's so funny.
You guys are fun.
So Lori brought back a gift for her former boss who drives a Vespa, and
what?
I don't know. And in Barcelona, a beer coaster. Okay, so she brought her boss a Vespa model, and in Barcelona, a beer coaster with a Vespa on it. So that makes sense. Froze up on me again.
Oh my gosh, is it frozen again, you guys?
Alright.
YouTube is... Okay, it's back. Good. It says excellent connection, but then it's like swirly swirls right now.
Wow, okay, so Mo is saying, Eliz, really? I was born and raised in Kuwait.
Oh man, that's neat.
And he says that type 3 diabetes exists there. There are call centers for fast food restaurants because there's so many orders coming in.
Oh my
Crazy.
gosh.
Um,
Call centers for fast food restaurants?
It's nuts.
Wow.
No, I do know that diabetes is actually a real big issue over there, though. I think just generally in the Middle East, I think it might be a major issue in Kuwait specifically.
Wow. So. Yikes.
Okay. Sorry, trying to find back where we lost everybody. Terry Finley, speaking of peanuts, we didn't see any boiled peanut signs from our trip. Well, the handwritten ones, the Walters World told us about, so they didn't see any of the peanuts.
Man, you guys just gotta go back. Gotta go back for the peanuts.
Oh yeah, and a lot of people are talking to me about RC Cola. Yeah, RC Cola's from the South, guys. I get it now. It's from Georgia. They were pioneers. They don't get the respect that they deserve, obviously. And they also made moon pies, I guess, which is a thing, which is cool.
And Thomas, yeah, I've only heard of type 1 and type 2 diabetes as well. I didn't even know there was a type 3. I'm pressing refresh, by the way, guys, because I feel like things are getting a little dicey. I hope it works. But, yeah, I think we're still alive.
Yep. So, Gallivanting Gals have a question, which is, speaking of Scotland, have you guys thought about doing the North Coast 500? It's on our list for the next visit.
Yes. When we went to Skye, we just kind of fell in love with that whole area, and I know that it's a little bit more remote than even Skye is, but still has those stunning views, and there's infrastructure there for that. So I've looked into it. I don't know if I've really necessarily talked to Derek too much
I've never
about
looked into it, no.
But
I did not know that it existed.
yeah, kind of like it's in the Outer Hebrides, and you just do, it's like 500-mile kind of a loop around. So I think that would be really cool if we do end up going to the UK this fall.
Yeah.
You know, after our quarantine.
Yeah, that'd
we're
be
gonna
cool.
follow all the rules. But it sounds like we would probably be, you know, looking for all the cool things to do that we haven't already done if we go there.
Yeah. And
Yeah, kind of like the Ring of Kerry in Ireland. Exactly. I think it's but it's larger. I've never done the Ring of Kerry, but I think it's, you know, 500 miles. That's a lot of miles in Scotland.
Nick D is saying that he saw candy cigarettes at the gas station in 2020. What?
So Derek and I were joking about
That's insane.
Going to Cracker Barrel
Can't
and
believe
eating all like the candy.
Yeah, but I'm not gonna say that you're gonna have candy cigarettes.
No, they didn't have the candy cigarettes. Yeah, okay, that is kind of crazy. I feel like
It was definitely marketing to minors.
yeah, that's, you know, it's wrong.
But I remember
but,
this tasted terrible. They were just like bad sugar like things. But yeah, they were like
But we were talking about going to Cracker Barrel and getting the candy sticks that you can get there.
yeah, like where they were just like dipped in sugar and it's like the
Because we
crystals.
passed by so many Cracker Barrels on our way to Cincinnati, and we were like, "Oh my gosh,
Gotta get that mac and
what
cheese."
did you used to get when you went to Cracker Barrel as a kid?" And we traded stories about the good old Cracker Barrel road trips that, you know, when you fly to other countries, you just don't get to talk about.
The only thing I remember about Cracker Barrels is that you could get audiobooks on tape, which I guess were like super popular with like truck drivers. And then they had the peg game that was like that triangle thing where you had like hop the pegs. And then the rocking chairs that were super expensive that you could also buy because they were like handmade or whatever.
So my grandfather was obsessed with Cracker Barrel, and that's like where we would always stop. And I did several road trips that included my grandparents too as a child. And my grandfather was a food broker, and so he was all about like the quality of food that you could get at Cracker Barrel and be like home, you know, like that home cooked meal. You could get some meatloaf and mashed potatoes and stuff, and even while you're driving, he was certainly a fan.
Comfort food.
Comfort food, of course.
So Galvan and Gals is saying to Germany travel guide. I don't know. I think they're just talking about RC and moon pies, which is all delicious stuff. Lori Simmons is saying, I just read that the first In-N-Out was bulldozed in California to build a new one, which is so sad. That would be sad. It's like a piece of history. And Nick P says that he will do live videos in the Superheroes group. That's cool. I'm assuming for your road trip.
Sorry, I just read Megan Morris's comment. That would have a niche audience, Megan. So she says she would love to see a travel vlog where you and I challenge ourselves to create an outfit of the day where the garments are exclusively from the Cracker Barrel store. Stay tuned. That we'll add it to the content calendar.
We'll only wear Crocs, and Eliz will only have handbags from Vera Bradley. It'll be great. It'll be.
Is that what they have there?
I have no idea.
I'm
just thinking, how American can we make it?
I don't remember too many outfits at the Cracker Barrel store. I think I was so fixated on the candy. I don't know if I explored beyond.
I haven't. So we were talking about this. Like,
Good night, Katie Smith. By the way, thanks
Bye,
for joining.
Katie. But like we were talking about this. Like, when's the last time you went to a Cracker Barrel? And I was like, college at some point. I think my parents took like my brother and I when we were in Bloomington to a Cracker Barrel. But Tom is saying that his dad ate at Cracker Barrel every Friday night with his girlfriend for like 3 decades straight.
That was like their diner. That's nice.
That's great.
Yeah. It's the kind of place that you would do that at, for sure.
Yeah. And then, like, I'm sure, like, their waitress, like, the handful of waitresses that they probably saw every Friday, or waiters, probably, like, knew them by name. Yeah. Actually, I've got a buddy who, back when he lived in Indy, he used to go to Bob Evans all the time for breakfast. And, like, we would go in together, and he was, like, a local celebrity. Like, his waitress knew him, knew his order, like, it was very interesting.
Awesome.
I was like, wow, I'm like with royalty right now. This is cool. I was like, I aspire to have a place like this where I feel like I belong like that. That'd be cool.
So apparently Cracker Barrel has, according to Melinda, they have sweatshirts with the bead designs on them. Tracy's 98-year-old grandmother loves those. Yeah.
So we would be in good OOTD
Okay.
company with Tracy's grandma.
That is inspiring information. We can definitely do like at least a try on at a Cracker Barrel if we're doing the road trips.
I'm not trying on any clothes from anywhere until COVID's done. I'm just gonna buy it. So Travel Best Destination says that they are traveling Chicago in 3 weeks, which is pretty cool.
Nice.
Chicago's a cool place.
Yeah.
I like it.
Let us know. DM us on Instagram
Yeah,
or something
DM
if you
us.
need recommendations. 3 weeks from now, I think, is when we're kind of in the process of our move. So I don't know if we'll be around, but keep us posted on the exact dates, and we can chat about that. But also, where are you coming from? I can't remember where you guys are located too. Lori says in California they finally opened, but it's far away, and she would never go. I'm assuming to Cracker Barrel. I'm glad that Cracker Barrel is getting such a shout out. We should be like sponsored by.
Hey, Cracker Barrel, if you want to sponsor us.
Actually,
I have no pride. I will take any sponsor.
I would not be shocked if like a ton of YouTube bloggers have reached out to Cracker Barrel for like the first time ever, being like, hey, so we bought an RV and if you want us to talk about you.
That and Walmart. Walmart, we like your parking lot.
Yep.
So we can go hang out.
We can talk about Walmart and
Yeah.
BP. The Cracker Barrel marketing team's probably inundated right now.
Yeah, sure. Eric B. Did we already say hi to Eric B?
Hi, Eric B.
Hey, Eric B.
I don't
You're
think
still
we
on.
did. Travel Adventures with Eric
That was like 10 minutes ago. How you doing, bud?
Yeah, and I don't know if he had bowling again tonight or not, but
Oh,
he says
I'm guessing.
there's a Cracker Barrel next door to the bowling alley.
Eric B. also says that he got a certificate for crossing the Capilino suspension bridge.
So, okay, Travel Best Destinations. You guys are coming from LA, so I'm assuming that you're keeping track of all of the local Chicago rules. California is one of the states that you need to quarantine for 14 days, according to like local stuff. Unless that's changed over the past week. I haven't looked at like the latest and greatest, but I know it was when they initially launched like the 15 states that needed to quarantine before entering Chicago. I knew California was on it then. So just a shout out on that.
Yeah, I definitely just understand what it looks like, and if you are caught violating it, what it looks like from a fine standpoint and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Honestly, I have no idea how they actually like enforce any of this stuff, but just be careful.
I think if you just like
whatnot.
So nobody stops you and asks you for your ID in the street or anything. It's just if you happen to have somebody ask. But also too, I think it's like I think they change it every week or something, because I think if your state has 7 consecutive days of decreasing COVID cases, then the state gets removed. So maybe California is that, and we just might not be up to date.
Yeah. All right. So Galvan and Gals is saying that they still don't have Tracy convinced yet. I think that's about the north part of Scotland trip. Which would be really cool.
Yeah. Oh, it'd be really nice, but like make sure you're comfortable driving in that kind of remote area and stuff.
Yeah, so Lori is saying in California they finally opened, but it is far away and would never go. Don't know what that's in reference to. But yeah, no. LA is cool.
So they're saying that they're coming from California for a business trip, so I assume your company knows.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely talk with people. Make sure to keep monitoring because here it's kind of like the New York area. It's very similar in terms of like what's going on and like it's constantly changing. So like even if it looks good now, you're gonna have to look like right before you fly, too.
Yeah, so Terry Finley says that the hash brown casserole at Cracker Barrel is awesome, and Megan Morris says, I wonder what the corkage fee is at Cracker Barrel. If they are BYOB, I guess. That's really funny. Oh my goodness.
Do they have corkscrews?
I don't know.
They get out the can opener and dump in the wine.
Yeah, so Gavin and Gaz is asking Megan Morris if they have Shoney's, also known as Big Boy, down there. We have those by my parents. They have Big Boy. I'm not gonna lie, I have never been a huge fan of Big Boy. I didn't find their burgers to be that great.
Is that the place that gave me the neon eggs?
No.
What was that place?
Maybe, I don't know. But my little brother actually, he was just telling me yesterday that he really likes to have like a pork tenderloin sandwich or something like that. That he says is pretty tasty. So.
I've never. There's a Big Boy in Lawrenceburg where Derek's parents live, and I think we've only been once.
I've been there. I took my mom there one time because she said that they had a good burger, and I just wasn't a fan. But again, I heard that their tenderloin's pretty good, so I would try that. So Eric B is saying, I was looking to go to Vegas and Zion in Utah next month, but I don't know if there are restrictions.
So
Zion's awesome.
Beautiful.
And actually, so like that whole area, like in southern Utah, is just kind of cool. That's where my aunt and uncle live, is in southern Utah, up
His
in like
uncle,
the St.
aunt and
George
uncle
area.
live between. They live in St. George, which is between Vegas and Zion.
Yeah.
Closer to Zion.
And it's gorgeous, like really cool, like beautiful stars out there because like there's like no light pollution, and then
and actually their neighborhood is all about keeping the no light pollution.
Yeah.
So there's no street lights, and all of the houses are built so that although like you can only have indoor light basically, and if you have outdoor light, it needs to be like covered.
Yeah, so it only like projects down. It doesn't project up. So it's considered a dark sky area.
Which I'm sure there's other places that do this too, but that was the first time we had been to one, and I thought that was super neat that they would prioritize that and like create it into building codes and stuff like that.
Because where they live is like it was a guy who developed the land, and he like that was his like. If you buy a lot, you have to like adhere to certain building codes in his area where he was selling the lots. But yeah, no, that it was super cool. And it's like I've never been in a place where I felt so like awed by just like looking up at the sky.
Yeah.
Like at their like.
And
we'd be in their house and you'd like
stargazing
look up
too.
and you're like, oh my goodness.
For any of you guys who know about like where to see good stars, Tucson's another phenomenal spot. There's actually like national observatories there and stuff like that. But there is light pollution. So if you're really wanting that completely dark sky experience, Utah, do it.
So Mark is saying that he took his GoPro and chest harness on vacation to wear on the mountain coasters of Gatlinburg and decided that YouTube was already filled with those videos, so why bother? But why not?
But yours might be best.
Yeah. Maybe you have good commentary or a really good like, wee.
Vagabonnie Bonnie says, oh my gosh, light pollution, I miss the stars, and I'm with you there. When we lived in New York City especially, I used to be like, oh my gosh, you can see a star.
And
it was an event if you could actually see a constellation or something.
Oh yeah, constellations were rare. I mean, you could usually see like a star or two.
Like if the sky was clear.
Yeah, if it was clear. Like people who say like, oh, I lived in New York and never saw a star. It's like that's bull. You can definitely see them. It's not that bad, but you see like the North Star and that's it because it's so bright. Like in Chicago, you see stars. Like it's not that bad. But it's nothing like when you go to like one of these places that's like a dark sky type environment where they take pride in it, and you just like look up and it's just like I think
mean,
I even
it's
told
like
this to you.
freckles across the entire
I even told you this
sky.
like the last time we were there.
So
I was
cool.
like, oh, I see why like ancient peoples and Native Americans and all this stuff had constellations and stuff, because it was like you could see it all, and like I get it now. Like that.
There's
that's
still
really
constellations even with modern day people. Yeah.
But no, I'm saying.
No, I understand what you're saying.
I see why they
and
created like
it makes
the
you
want to
download those apps that like you can scan the night sky with your phone and it tells you what what
you're looking at.
Because that's something that just here in a big city, it's kind of a useless app to have on your phone, but there it's like, oh, that's so fun. Yeah. So let us know too. I'm curious because you guys are all such great travelers. Are there any other places, like we mentioned Tucson, we mentioned Utah, are there any other places that you all have been that have incredible stargazing? Put it in this thing.
Yeah. So Thomas Reiser is saying that he's trying to get used to a mask right now, since a lot of airlines like American are saying no mask, no flight at the time, and Delta's that way as well right now, where they're even saying like the only way you can get around it is to like do a checkup with a physician like at the airport that they are employing or something like that, and it can take up to an hour pre-flight to like go through the whole process.
And so
and
Thomas,
basically,
I wanted
if you don't
to
pass
specifically
it,
say because he has I think it's like asthma or like some sort of breathing issue where he has like a doctor's note where he doesn't have to adhere to the mask stuff, but there are certain cities and like locales along with airlines that, I mean, it's a rule. So it creates a very tricky situation, absolutely, and I know that that's going to be tough. I don't know, about airlines, but I actually had a thought about that for you, and if you can cover your face with a bandana in like a certain spot versus an actual mask, and still, like maybe can go to the grocery store like that, there might be a little bit more airflow. I don't know what different rules are. I don't know what the airlines are going to accept as masks, but it could be something that's at least helpful on a day-to-day level for you. I don't know about with travel.
Yeah, and what I would say though is like, I don't know what American's exact policy is. I do
American
know that
just announced this week that you must wear a mask.
I know.
Yeah.
I don't know exactly what it is though. If like there are, because like still like if you're under a certain age, you don't. I don't know if there are some areas, because like what Delta has said, if you say that you can't do it for a medical reason, you have to be able to prove that you can't do it for a medical reason, right? So what that entails is getting like I think an airline employee doctor to like sign off basically, and so you have to show up more than an hour prior to like boarding to like go.
I mean,
through
you might
that
have
process.
to register it like in your files.
Well,
I would imagine it's more than showing up early.
No, that's not.
But
according to the article I read today, they talked about you could take more than an hour to like go through the checkup at the airport.
Okay.
So I mean, you just kind of need to figure it out, and because everybody just needs to be safe and figure out what works and what doesn't.
It's tricky though.
Mark?
And also too, like a lot of like Walmart and Kroger have all announced that they're implementing the same type of policies too. So it's becoming widespread.
Tom Shaner is saying, live stream tales of theft. What are your state statutes of limitations? LOL. That's because I think it might have been Lori was saying how they like stole a statue from like Big Boy or something like that as their like senior year prank, which is pretty funny. Lori
hey,
Sims.
family vacay. Welcome.
Hey, how you guys doing? Liked the jokes on the last one. We thought they were pretty
jokes.
funny.
That was funny.
Lori Sims is saying dark sky lighting is for animal wildlife migration protection, not the population. That's interesting.
I didn't know that.
I know that can be a thing. I don't know if that's necessarily why, like, my aunt and uncle's area does it.
I think it's to protect the night sky. Like, it's probably also for animals, but I think it's also to keep it nice for stargazers, too. The sky is so interesting. like, fun facts are, like, the light that we're seeing right now from the stars is actually from, like, hundreds of years ago. It just took
hundreds, but
it just took so long to get there and back.
depends
So
on from what.
they're worried, like, astronomers are worried that, like, hundreds of years from now, the sky is going to be much more distorted. And I remember, like, during the total solar eclipse, a lot of scientists were tracking animal-wildlife migration because, you know, like, during a total solar eclipse, it gets completely dark in certain spots, and then the wildlife kind of freak out. And I think it was a huge opportunity for scientists to understand that more.
Yeah. So, Nick P is saying that the North Shore of Minnesota has great stargazing, so that's cool.
Nice.
And Mark Walters is saying that Brecon Beacons National Park in Wales, it is one of 11 or 12 dark sky spots. Super cool stargazing.
That's nice.
That's cool.
We have not been there in Wales. We've been to a lot of places in Wales, but we still need to make it to there.
Yeah, that's right. The dark sky designation is, like, really important. I think Arches might have that in
Oh, do they?
Utah. Might be a dark sky designee. I think so. Nick D is saying, what if Captain D's had a bar? The nautical theme would make some killer rum drinks. It could be the next Red Lobster.
I don't know what Captain D's is.
I think it's like a fried fish place
Is it
in
like-
the U.S.
Yeah, we don't have that here in Chicago.
To which Megan Morris is responding with, Red Lobster would also be a hard pass for me.
I had a former coworker from Kansas, and she said she worked at Red Lobster in Kansas, like, in college, and I was like, what?
Megan...
But I mean, they have the lobster tanks there, so I guess that's totally feasible. But it was just one of those things where I was like, oh my gosh. They really are everywhere.
You know, I really like going to those places where you get to pick your lobster, and it's like you get to be your own executioner. You're like, that one. In my belly.
No.
But Megan...
Stay on the line.
Megan, is your hashtag no to gooey oysters? Ew.
I like oysters generally. I probably wouldn't order them in
Or
Kansas.
it's no to go oysters. Hashtag
To
no
go
to go
oysters.
oysters.
To
gooey oysters. Ew.
I read it that way too.
All oysters are kind of gooey. I don't know.
Yeah, that's why I was like, I like oysters. I was defending the gooiness, but yeah, no. To go oysters, yeah, that's difficult. It's a tough goo to swallow.
Yeah. Yes.
I know, I'm like, oh, I said it.
I'm more of a mussel guy than an oyster guy because those are more like
tricky,
meaty.
though. Yeah, I don't.
Meatier.
I love East Coast oysters in the U.S. I think they're so good.
Yeah. Mo is saying some masks are horrible because it fogs up my glasses. Need windscreen wipers for my glasses. That's funny. Well, you need the ones that have like the metal that you can bend, because that can keep it like pressed so it doesn't go up in your glasses. Because I have that issue sometimes.
You should invent those, like battery powered windshield wiper glasses, and make all the money.
You can be like the jerk in that old school movie where he does like the things like where you grab them, but then you gotta be careful because you might make people go like cross-eyed or something. That's just not good.
But I've definitely heard, I don't wear glasses, Derek does. I've heard that it can really fog up people's glasses a lot.
Yeah.
It's tricky.
But again, if you have the one that has like the metal piece that you can like squish,
Yeah.
so it
makes
like
it
really
better.
pinches to your nose, that helps because it kind of forces the air down as opposed to letting it kind of go up. So that's one thing to think
Yeah.
about.
Derek's been wearing contacts more than ever. I mean, he already wore contacts a lot, but like he definitely leans towards that just on the off chance that he has to wear his mask. So my parents, for example, like don't even own contacts. They both wear glasses all the time, and they were complaining about that.
Yeah. So Lori's talking about that she works in the lighting industry for over 5 years. And
I'm sorry, I just read Megan Morris's thing, and I'm going to interrupt. She said, Eliz, you're lucky that you don't know what Captain D's is. It makes Long John Silver's look Michelin. Yikes. That's all I have to say to that. Because I've definitely been to Long John Silver's.
You stole a wine
I
out
did.
of my
I was
hand. I was about to pour myself a glass.
I yoinked it. I went, this is mine now.
Okay.
I'll pour you a
No,
glass.
you go with you first.
Okay, good,
It's
because
fine.
that would be really awkward.
Go.
Okay.
Okay, so
I'll try to only use half of it.
as much as you want.
You're so kind. Thank you. Cheers, everybody. I hope you guys are drinking too, or at least water, or you don't have to drink.
I'm drinking. Chin chin.
Cheers. I love
Cheerio.
you. All right. So, well, now it's awkward because I'm gonna go sit, but then.
Yeah. So, but what I was gonna say about Lori was saying that she works in the lighting industry, and they are restricted in the type of outdoor lighting that they can sell because of animals, not because of stargazing rules. You're also in Southern California, where a lot of the restrictions are a little bit more intense. I think Utah tends to be a little bit more conservative, i.e., probably less around some of that versus California. But some of the locations can have their own things, and again, it might be partially wildlife. It might be because that the guy who owned all the land loves stargazing. I have no idea, but
So also,
yeah.
Lori, let's connect on social media. It's somehow because I have questions about lighting for a completely non-YouTube, non-Mains to Travel related project. We're working on some house changes, and I am in the market for some bedroom lighting. And I've been like pinning things to Pinterest lately.
She's a Pinterest maniac right now.
I've been all over the lighting.
She's like sending my
options.
parents Pinterest. She's like, check this out. Nick D, though, is letting us know that the closest star would be about 4.3 years ago in terms of the light.
Closest.
Getting here. There are plenty that are further away, and the sun's light was from about 8 minutes ago.
Oh,
Good to
really?
know.
That is the closest star.
Eric B. Captain D sells crappy fish worse than Red Lobster.
Red Lobster has great biscuits.
Oh god, Cheddar Bay biscuits. Oh man, as a kid, I used to eat the crap out of those. That was like our birthday place, like that we'd go to, and I'd always get the crab meat fettuccine alfredo, which was freaking awesome. It must have been like 10,000 calories, and then like as many Cheddar Bay biscuits as my parents would let me eat. It was so good.
We went to Red Lobster for his little brother's birthday a few years ago.
It's really good.
And like I said, I try to eat dairy free unless I'm like in France and want to eat all the cheese. Yeah. And every single thing on that menu either was cream based or butter based.
Lots of butter. Love it.
Every single thing. And it's a long menu. Very large menu. So I had to create a little special order, kind of like befriend the waiter.
But they have this, like if you get it, like if you wanted crab, you just get steamed crab, or like lobster or something like that. You just don't have to use the butter.
But it came with the butter and like.
Just don't dip it.
That's blasphemy. That's
okay.
Sinful.
Tom Shaner, good night, bud. Glad to have seen
you. Good night, Tom. Thanks for joining.
Thank you for joining.
Hope you'll be back next Thursday.
Yeah, so, okay, I love that we go off these deep ends talking about random stuff, but Red Lobster, I remember I took you to Red Lobster in New York.
Yep, that did happen.
Because we were at a mall.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, man.
We went to Target in Queens, and then we got hungry.
And they had a Red Lobster there.
Lobster.
And I'm like, oh, man, let's go here. Like, Cheddar Bay biscuits, be so good. And we went there, and I was like, this was not as good as I remembered. I think that was just a bad location, personally. I think that there are much better. Like, if you're in a town where, like, Red Lobster is, like, the place to be.
Yeah.
Like, because it's, like, decent dining. It can be.
In Kentucky, it's like, remember we went there for your brother's birthday, and there was, like, an hour wait.
Yeah.
On a Friday night.
No, it's, like, the hot place to be.
Yeah.
And they take pride in what they do. Like, I feel like the place we went to, they were just like, screw it, like, whatever, put too much oil in it. They were not going to complain. So, like, I mean, I've had really good meals. Had some Red Lobsters. And it's good. I like it, it's feel-good food. It's not good for your heart, but, it feels good.
Oh, Lori's not on any of the internet things other than YouTube. Okay. I need to figure out if there's like a way to chat through YouTube or not.
All right, so Mark is saying that he's having cocktails right now, and his mom's coming over to share in the fun. Hugs all. Kathy Walters.
Aww.
How you doing, Kathy?
Hopefully she's still here. And what cocktails are you guys drinking?
Yeah, I'd love to hear that.
Definitely.
All right, we missed some stuff. Yeah, no to-go oysters. That's what Megan Moore said. Okay. And Eric B doesn't like the texture of oysters.
A lot of people complain about that.
Yeah. I'm more of a mussels fan in terms of like the texture. I like those. It's a little bit meatier. It's not slimy.
I always say oysters and escargot are the same texture, so it's like.
Yeah, but
I think they're both
prefer
phenomenal.
I prefer escargot because it's butter.
Dipped in butter, yeah.
Yeah. And Galvin Gaz is saying Galway.
Galway Bay oysters. Okay, speaking of, let me.
And Tom Shaner is saying to Megan, Long John's isn't Michelin? What? Crazy.
All right, there's a place outside of Galway Bay that had the fresh oysters that I ate, and it was specifically like in all of the recommended places to go.
But first of all, hey Nick Barnett.
Nick Barnett is on. Welcome. How was your exercising? He messaged me and said that he had something to do, like sports or exercise related or something first, and he was going to join late. So hopefully it went well.
Man. But
and I'm glad we're still on for you.
He's saying that he arrived just in time for the seafood part of the chat. as happens every time, the seafood pot.
I think he has been to New England recently, so maybe he can chime in.
Megan Moore says, LOL, they may sell Michelin tires in their parking lot. That's pretty funny.
I've never bought a Michelin guidebook for travel before, but I know that they make those too for certain spots. Okay, Moran's Oyster Cottage. That's where I went, that they pulled the oysters straight out of Galway Bay. Hot tip, if you're ever in the west coast of Ireland and you like oysters, that's the place. So on the map, it's like just there. Okay, Moran's. Sorry, carry on.
Mark says hi from Jocelyn. So hi Jocelyn.
We are behind, so hopefully they're still
Clearly
on.
behind.
And hello, welcome.
Okay, so
yes,
Mark Finley.
No, it's I'm like redoing the guest bedroom in Derek's parents' house. So that's the backstory to that.
LOL, bedroom lighting. Sounds a little TMI on this. Nice. No, not like that.
Yeah, not like that.
Although, I wonder what our neighbors think when, like...
Which neighbors?
When they, like...
Our neighbors in Chicago?
Can see, like...
Whoa. This is attached
I know, I'm being careful. They see, like, these things, like, going... I don't know.
Okay, I was like...
Kind of curious on what they think.
There's strings attached to this computer.
I was being careful.
Yeah, there's lights. There's studio lighting in here.
Studio lighting.
That's why I look
like
so...
semi-pro over here. Mark Finley is saying that they've got another cheesecake in the oven. Not for me, but for a family thing on Saturday.
Nice.
I love cheesecake.
Derek's favorite is cheesecake.
So real quick, cheesecake, if you're trying to go low carb, super easy. I like to use like a pecan, like a crushed pecan crust with some butter. And then you do the cheesecake stuff with like erythritol, which is one of these like sugar substitutes. And then do, I really like a raspberry like compote.
Sure.
However you say the word. Drizzled on top. It's
April,
delicious.
help them out. How do you say it? Jocelyn. They know.
Mo is saying that he should just wear a balaclava.
Yikes.
Because the metal things don't work pinching, I guess. So that's upsetting.
Is that like considered a mask? I guess it probably would be.
I don't know. And Megan Morris says that Cheddar Bays are the only reason that Red Lobster is still in business. So that's funny.
Is Red Lobster still owned by Darden?
Yeah. Should be.
So that company owns a lot of different brands like Red Lobster.
Vega Bonnie, cheesecake in the oven. Is that a euphemism for something? That's funny. Got a bun in the oven?
Things are getting a little weird. Let's move on.
Mark is saying, nope, really have a cheesecake. That's funny. Nick D, Red Lobster inside the Target. That's some ambitious co-branding. It was like a mall. It was like the Target was inside of a mall.
Yeah, the Target was like the anchor store of this maybe 3 or 4 story, what would have been a large strip mall if it was in a suburb sort of thing, but it was in Queens, so like they build up.
Yeah.
And I ended up memorizing, like, because you're not, when you go to a Target or a Walmart, you're not used to like multi-story situations and stuff. And so like I had to remember every time we went, like, okay, what story is all of each section on? Like, should I go straight up to the second story? So
there's a Best Buy in there. There's
there was a Best Buy in there.
So Galvin and Gals is saying Trace's hometown, Red Lobster is the fanciest place there. Yeah, I mean,
there's places like that.
Yeah,
for sure.
I mean, where I grew up, like, the fancy place was like Bonefish Grill, but that didn't come in until I was in high school. Before that was probably Red Lobster was like about as fancy as it got where I grew up.
And your town was
and like
really
Olive
big.
Garden, that kind of stuff.
Like Derek's hometown of Greenwood, Indiana, is massive, land wise, and also they just have a lot of retail. So that's saying something.
Nick P did not like oysters. He tried them once.
Oh.
Laura said, I'm scared that Red Lobster is the best place in town. It can be good.
I guess I'm like the only person that likes oysters on this chat. Whoops.
Galvin and Gals.
And Galvin and Gals do it too, I think.
Yes, it's scary, but it's a small town. So Nick D is making the point that yes, actually, the tire people make the restaurant guide as a prime promo to get people driving.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's kind of where the Michelin guide comes from, and it's like become this like super prestigious, like the Michelin stars, and like it's a highly coveted thing now.
And I think they make the guidebooks too, kind of for that reason, like to get people out to the restaurants and stuff.
So Nick is saying, hey, yes, I had an exercise session planned around the same time this thing started, but I had to go through with it because I've been on a health kick lately. Oh, that's awesome. That's really cool.
We need to follow you. I feel like I've gotten to a point where like long walks are like massive exercise. And that's not okay.
Well, it's not as bad as me. I'm like, my knee hurts today from driving so much. I'm like, oh my God.
Derek drove home for 5 hours yesterday, and he's like, oh, my knee. I need to ice it. I'm like, what?
It's a long time. Well, it was the 2 days in a row of driving back to back, the 5.5 hours or whatever, and like, whatever. But like, it's still sad.
He started limping, and I was like,
we don't have to tell everybody everything.
You're 32.
I was like, I'm like that old guy who's like, it's the old football injury coming back.
Well, we keep talking about doing these road trips this fall, and I'm like, we're not going to make it. We better bring our, like, knee brace and our ankle brace.
You're so old. Yeah, she took a nap, though, in the middle of the day, so she can't be too hard on me.
I'm 90. I took a nap in the middle of the day.
So, Megan Morris, though, she's saying compote. And Galvin and Gals is also saying compote like boat. Okay. So, now we know compote. Okay. Darien says, don't ever get an oyster caught in your throat.
Yeah, don't
that
do
would
that.
Be terrible.
No.
Everybody's, yes, good job to Nick Barnett on the whole workout thing. Megan Morris, the days when Bonefish was fancy. We had that brief moment in Lexington.
Yep.
I liked Bonefish
Grill. Is actually, I mean, it's expensive.
It's not cheap. Yeah.
Yeah, it's fancy-ish. Yeah.
I mean, I remember when I was like being fancy, I took like a girl out to like.
It wasn't me.
It wasn't her. But I took her out to, like, Olive Garden. I'm like, oh, I'm being fancy. They have, like, real napkins. Don't mind if I do.
Didn't work.
Didn't work out.
Didn't work.
I got this one instead. Okay. So Nick Barnett is saying that he started losing weight this year to get back in shape, and it got a little bit disrupted though by COVID, and he's picking it up back up now. So hey, it's all about getting back on the horse.
Yeah, we need to. Yeah. I need to follow Nick Barnett on that one. Bandwagon.
Thomas Reiser's letting us know that there's a 2-story Target in downtown Chicago.
There is.
And Megan Morris says, "Give me all the oysters as long as I'm on the coast."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Chicago actually gets pretty good ones if you're at the nicer restaurants. There's a restaurant, not but kind of in the Wicker Park area, kind of close to where we live, that is French, like provincial. And what is it called? It's literally like
Café Concale.
Café Concale, yeah. And they have really good oysters. So luckily, like in Chicago, we have a good shipment. But there are certain places that I wouldn't trust.
Yeah, I was so upset when because it's like literally like a block from us. And I was like, oh man, like we'll be able to like go for like their happy hour thing or something like that, and then like COVID happened. I was like, son of a gun.
If they can't tell me where the oysters are from, I would not order them.
Yeah.
That's kind of a general rule of like anywhere. I want to know sourcing.
So Megan's saying that she's getting really jealous of Lori Sims talking about all this food stuff.
Yeah.
Because SoCal has some amazing food, and
it
I love
really does.
What I love the most is the alfresco dining. Like that's really like the main thing in SoCal is like there's such good like outdoor dining options that like it's just a way of life.
We were supposed to go this past spring, and obviously things changed. But I hadn't been to LA for a while, and went with Derek April 2019, and I think even in April, like every dining opportunity was outdoor. Like that we did. We purposely did it because we were like, oh, this is great. We haven't been outside in 5 months. But it was just so fun to be in that type of environment where everything was set up for that. And all the avocados on everything. Sign me up. Love it.
Yeah. So Galvin and Gals is talking about trying to kick the Sprite habit. So a lot of Sprite Zeros, and was using LaCroix as a way to kind of help that, and has found Smart Water with watermelon and cucumber lime, which
Smart Water with
really
watermelon and cucumber lime. That sounds really good.
Yeah. Nick P is saying
I would drink that.
Nick P is telling me that 5 hours is nothing for a drive. So 5 hours isn't that bad, and he's saying he's got an 11-hour drive on like one of the days from Harrison to Nashville. Which is a long day of driving. The longest drive I've done is from like New York to Chicago, which was like 12 hours or something like that. Maybe slightly more than that, which I've done. Cruise control helps, I will say. I think the issue is when you drive for a long period of time, you have that like repetitive motion of just like, especially if you don't use cruise control. Actually, I used our cruise control for the first time on the trip back, and having like the adaptive cruise control where it like actually senses the cars ahead of you, so it'll like slow down if you're getting too close to the next one, is really cool. And actually I'd never used it. I'd always like read about it and like why it's beneficial. Using that kind of technology,
allowed the car to keep its distance. Like we were a very safe
it's
distance.
not aggressive. It's not aggressive at all. So like it gives you a big lead, like a whole like more than a semi-truck's length. So that becomes an issue where if like you're giving that length to people and they're very slow in getting around a semi-truck, you might have a semi-truck coming like in between you. So occasionally you've got to like
you have to be on your game.
Push the pedal to the metal to get up there, so you're not getting cut off by semi-trucks, because that's annoying on long trips. It just becomes a thing about trying to figure out what the technology is and utilizing it appropriately. Because like otherwise, if you're constantly like applying that pressure over a very long period of time, it can. I'm being old now, but it can hurt. It's not good.
Ouchie.
Gallivanting Gals. Oh, daily naps were a thing for us when quarantine first started.
I know, and Thomas Riser said he took a nap this afternoon too, so high five.
Yeah. Well, it was funny because all of a sudden...
Especially after a day of driving.
Well, I came upstairs all of a sudden and I looked in like our spare bedroom and she's like laying down on like the spare bed and she's like, this is what I'm doing now. And I'm like, I'm gonna join you.
I'm sleepy.
I was like, okay, good night.
Yeah, but I mean, we actually didn't do daily naps ever during quarantine. It was just today.
Mark is saying he gained a little bit of weight since the beginning of March at the end of vacation. Yeah, I think we all did, Mark.
Yeah, you're not alone.
And Lori Sims is saying, I took 3 naps this week and felt no guilt.
I was going to wear a completely different outfit today, and then I tried it on, so there's that.
Mo ordered a Xiaomi Mi Band 5 fitness tracker last week. All this hiking news making me want to track my steps and other data. Yeah. I actually have a...
He's got a lot of hiking? Oh, I need to go there.
Yeah. I've got a... we both have...
the Fitbit?
Fitbits. And
mine's charging right here.
my problem is I don't think I've charged mine. I need to steal your charger.
Okay. I don't think our chargers.
We might have different ones, yeah. So I don't think I've charged mine in like months, like 6 months probably. So I need to change that.
Yeah, they're great. I like my Fitbit. I also like if you're like in quarantine, if you actually get the step goals and stuff and you hit them, it feels so nice. You're like, I did something today.
Yeah. So Gallivanting Gals is saying, sorry, watermelon mint is one and cucumber lime is the other flavor, and there are 4 flavors, but those are the best.
Nice.
In terms of the smart water. All right, Nick P's got to go.
I would drink either of them. Bye, Nick P. Thanks for joining.
Oh, no, sorry, he's not leaving. He says, got to go out and stretch every couple of hours.
Oh.
On a long trip.
Thanks for not leaving.
Thanks for not leaving. I thought he was saying he's got to go. But yeah, no, that's definitely a good thing. Like, I found myself when we stopped at the... We try not to stop too often, but...
And Mo said he had to go to PT before COVID. I feel like probably physical therapy places are opening back up at this point in a lot of places, but I just don't know about everywhere. And I don't know about Northern Ireland. So, yeah. But it's important. Like, physical therapy is really important to stay on top of. Otherwise, your injuries can extend for a lot longer than you'd want them to.
Yeah. Vega Bonnie, thank you for joining us.
Hi, Bonnie.
Have a good day at work tomorrow, and we look forward to seeing you again.
Oh, yeah. And she also added that 25% of the company was laid off. Yeah. Ugh. That's really tough. And our hearts go out to you on that one.
Nick D says he's actually lost a pant size.
Oh, everyone's sounding so healthy.
Which he says is since he's not eating out as much.
That's actually fair.
Yeah, I can see that happening. I'm just so much more sedentary. Because, like, I used to walk so much, like, going to work every day and stuff. I was, like, getting so many steps.
And I used to go, so
just no more.
Our gym is, like, a few blocks away. We live in a city, you know, everything's pretty close by.
You used to go to the gym?
I used to go to classes at the gym all the time because they were, like, free as part of the membership. And that was, like, my preferred form of working out. And so, because I haven't been able to go to classes, I have been very lax on things, and I'll do YouTube workouts every once in a while, but it certainly is not the same. So.
My alcohol consumption is way up also
that too.
Since all of this.
Yeah.
Because when you're working super long hours and stuff, it's like you don't drink every night. And now it's like, 5 o'clock rolls around.
We ring the gong.
Let's open up a bottle.
Family opens the bottle.
I have peer pressure from my roommates.
Definitely Papagino.
Papagino is just like, guys, let's drink. Yeah. So Nick is saying, yeah, it's hard to kick sodas when you're used to drink them a lot. It took me a while to wean them off, but glad that I have. So what I would say about that is that, I stopped drinking soda back in high school. Because my brother...
You stop drinking, like, sugary sodas. You'll drink, like, a carbonated stuff.
I was about to get into that. So I stopped flat out. I didn't drink anything for a long time. And then I slowly would introduce them only if I was, like, out, like, drinking, like at a club or something like that. I would, like, have, like, Diet Coke and rum or vodka or something like that as a relatively affordable drink while I'm out. And then I started drinking a little bit of diet soda at work. And I did find that actually, I thought that had, like, a detrimental effect on my, like, decisions when I would drink that. Like, that sugary sweetness would,
Really?
like, make me want to, like, eat things that I shouldn't have.
Oh, those kind of decisions. I thought you meant, like, work-related.
Oh, no, not like, I'm leaving.
Yeah, it does
was
affect
like,
your sugar cravings.
Yeah,
for sure.
it definitely had me, like, craving, like, other foods, I found. So I've been trying to, like, keep away from those. Like, even when I'm doing, like, the Tinto de Veranos where I'm using, like, a diet Sprite or whatever to mix with the wine, I do find myself then, like, craving, like, other things, like, sugary, like, carbohydrate-loaded stuff, even though I'm not eating carbs with, like, a Sprite Zero. So I try to stay away from those.
Yeah, and I've never really drank soda, so it helps with his not drinking soda. But we do, like, his parents love a specific diet soda, and so it's just like as soon as we go to their place, we're like, oh my gosh, people drink this. But yeah, there's a lot of great ways to switch over, like drinking iced tea and stuff like that too.
Yeah. So Megan Morris is saying, are you guys going to do a Cincinnati social distance meetup before your year of traveling? If people are around the Cincinnati area and want to DM us, shoot us a message or something like that, we'd be open to thinking about it. It kind of depends. We'll be with my parents for a little while. My mom's got some health issues, so we would be
so just so
very,
everybody
very
knows,
careful.
his mom has an autoimmune disease that's pretty serious. We've kind of mentioned it before, but it's a very huge concern, which is why we've been like not meeting up with people, knowing that we'd be visiting with them and living with them for a few weeks and stuff like that. So she actually currently is battling an like pneumonia infection that's non-COVID related. So we are just very, very careful with who we see. But social distance meetups, as long as we're all good, like, we're totally fine with.
Yeah, we'll play it by ear. But reach out to us. Happy to, make those connections.
Yeah.
Nick P is saying that his smartwatch is in Texas for warranty repair and his wrist feels naked without it. Yes, that is rough.
Yeah. I love my Fitbit.
Yeah, and Nick's talking about sugar being addictive and it's about getting your body used to not having it. Yeah.
I don't even put like sugar cream in my coffee anymore because I got used to it. Like, I had to train myself because I loved mochas. Oh my gosh. Sign me up for that chocolatey goodness. Loved it. And then I went for a while not really doing much of any sugars, and my body finally got used to like having a coffee with an unsweetened almond milk or something like that. And yeah, you can change. Your body can adjust. It's cool.
Yeah. Galvin and Gals is taking off, so thank you very much for being here. We really appreciate it.
Thanks, guys. Thanks, gals.
Yeah, we really appreciate it.
Yeah.
So,
we would appreciate it so much.
Eric B. PG is an alcoholic.
I saw that, and I was gonna say, all right. So when I got home, I took a picture of me and PG. Look at him. He's like, "What is this?"
Well,
he's so sweet, though. He's way too big to be a lap dog, yet still thinks he's a lap dog.
but we were also sent this while we were gone for like the day, which was like just PG like looking at nothing.
He's like,
Where'd they go?
Where are my friends?
So PG.
Yeah, he does best when everybody's here. That's for sure. Megan says we need to see a PG appearance before he leaves. Yeah. Maybe we'll get him on the next one.
Yeah. Definitely.
Our other Megan had a bunch of calls tonight, so we didn't want to interrupt by bringing him around.
So Nick B is saying that he's a daily coffee drinker too, and he reduced the sugar in that, and when drinking coffee at home, and doesn't use white or refined sugar. Yeah. We do. I haven't used sugar in my coffee in a little while. I do use like almond milk. I tend to do the unsweetened almond milk in that. I don't like just like black. Occasionally I can train myself to do that over a short period of time. I find it's a little acidic sometimes.
I'm jumping, but Nick, I see at the bottom, Nick Barnett says mochas are great for a dessert coffee. They're
It's a
great.
milkshake.
They're great for a
hot
wake
milkshake.
you up coffee too, if you let them be. Like that was my thing. I loved mochas. I would get like especially in Christmas time, like peppermint mocha from Starbucks. Game over. So delicious. But yeah, it's I found that there's during Christmas time, hot tip, if you go to Target or like a Kroger brand store, like Murano sort of thing, they have non-sugar added peppermint mocha flavored coffee. So it's sugar free. It's just coffee, but there's like natural peppermint and chocolate flavors. Dang. I usually buy like 10 bags because they will sell out immediately right after Thanksgiving, and they are so good and like way healthier than actually getting a real mocha, like peppermint mocha. So yeah, that's my tip.
I blacked out. What are you talking about? I'm just kidding. So there's a lot
You
of
like those though,
there's
right? You
what?
like the peppermint mocha coffee?
Yeah, super sweet.
But there's no sugar.
Oh, that's where. Okay, yes, that's
Yeah.
That's fine. Yeah, that's fine. It has like hints of.
Yeah,
chocolate.
it's like
So, yeah, it's good.
flavors, aromas.
Yeah, it's good. So there's a lot of conversations happening about like Diet Coke. Is it going to kill you? Is it not going to kill you?
We're not
going
going to solve this here.
I'm just going to say my personal thing is that I found myself craving things after going a long time without diet soda or any kind of soda, and then having it. I found I did have some issues, but it's kind of up to you. If you used to drink 6 Cokes a day and you're doing 6 Diet Cokes a day, I'm not going to say that that's a bad move. Like, if you're going from 600 calories a day and you're eliminating
Unless
that,
you
that's good.
you have an aspartame sensitivity.
Yeah.
Other than that, I don't know.
Yeah, and Nick B is
We're
saying,
also not scientists, so we
not a
we
scientist,
don't know.
not even almost a scientist.
Yeah.
No scientific training at all. Nick B is saying it's all about moderation. Yep, that's all it's all
sure.
about. Okay.
Puppy, I know. Peach.
Mo is saying, surprisingly, I've had a tan from the few days that the sun's been out. There's a light band on my wrist where my watch is.
Oh my.
Shocking.
I never get tan, even when I'm out in the sun.
Yeah, Nick B
But
is
it's
saying
because I use all the sunscreen.
she gets red.
I get red.
Nick B is saying I still use a little sugar because I drink strong coffee.
Yeah.
Yeah, we do a lot of the we like making ours with the French press, which is really good. And Eric B only likes cold coffee.
Cold coffee is good too.
Yeah.
I really like cold brew style because it's like less acidic.
Yeah, and I do
easier to
agree,
drink.
actually. Lori, I do the same thing. If I'm traveling and I get like the espressos, like in Italy, I definitely add some sugar to that because that can be tough. That
Yeah.
can be tough to drink otherwise.
I've
'cause it's
had the espressos without
fuerte.
sugar. I've done it. It's doable for me, but they can be very bitter that way. So
Yeah.
you have to have that tolerance. But they're significantly more tasty and desirable with sugar.
Yeah. And, when I travel, I prefer just keep the drip coffee coming. Just like, I'll sip on it all day.
Yeah.
It's so good.
But what's really fun when you're traveling, especially in Italy, is because everybody drinks espresso. If you're just feeling a little bit of like, oh my gosh, I've been walking around so much, there's a little bit of lag, you can pretty much go into any sort of anywhere, coffee place, restaurant, anything that's open any time of day and order an espresso and just drink it there and then plow on. And that's pretty cool about the culture. It's like you don't have to go to a Starbucks and wait in line and pay $5. Like basically you're paying €1 to get a little pick-me-up and keep going. Yeah. So it's nice.
Yeah, I remember when I was studying abroad in Spain, I used to pay like €0.8 for a cafe con leche, which is like this tiny little thing of like, basically it was a shot of espresso with a little bit of hot milk in it. It was so good. What I will say though is Nick Barnett's, you're saying that you used to drink French press coffee when you were dating someone who drank coffee like that, but you could never get it right when trying to make French press coffee on your own. So our French press coffee takes about a liter. It's like almost exactly a liter. And what I found to be the key to making French press coffee is that first you put in the amount of coffee you want. So if you're making a liter, for me that's about 5 tablespoons, 5 to 5.5 tablespoons of coffee. And then you put in the coffee to just barely go past the height of the grounds.
Put in the water,
hot
water.
You put in the boiling water just past the grounds, stir it up, and let that sit for 3 to 4 minutes. And then you fill it the rest of the way with your coffee. Or with your water, I mean. Sorry.
And then stir it again.
Then stir it again. And then you plunge it. Or press it, if you want to call it that. And that gives a really smooth coffee.
Yeah.
It's really good.
But it lets the grounds kind of dilute into the water. Otherwise...
Because the brewing really takes place with that small amount of coffee, which makes like a highly concentrated amount, and then you pour the rest of the water on top. Stir it up a little bit to get it mixed, and then you press it, and it makes super smooth coffee. I think it's really good.
Yeah.
And I really like when I do that. If it's plain coffee, I add a little bit of cinnamon in there, and it's delicious.
Megan said that she's with me, no tan here. I use loads of Kula sunscreens to keep my fair skin damage free. That's a great brand. I have the Elta MD. That's like a zinc sunscreen for my face, and I'll use it definitely when I'm traveling. So this week I had a moment where it was very difficult for me because my favorite discontinued Peter Thomas Roth powder sunscreen that I bring on like all of my travels exploded all over the vintage backpack that my grandmother gave me when I was like 9. Luckily it was not like...
It was fixable.
It was fixable, yeah. I just had to like kind of deep scrub it and then let it dry. The sunscreen part was not fixable. That thing's gone.
Yep.
So I went and I bought a new one that's like a different formula. And I'm going to maybe do a review on that once we actually start traveling.
Real quick though.
It's great.
Us and More. Hello.
Hi, Us and More. Welcome.
Welcome. Thank you for joining us. I think we're getting towards the tail end of things, but we're always happy to have you here.
And so what we were just talking about sunscreen, and so this one particularly from Peter Thomas Roth is like a powder one that's great for travel because it's not liquid, and it's like SPF 45. Mm-hmm. I'm with you on that one. I obviously need it. And then Lori says she went to the dermatologist last week, and she said that my tan skin looked on my face looked good for my age, and I was happy with that. Yes, that's like getting an A at the dermatologist.
You passed the test.
Yeah, and especially if you're a traveler, because you get so much sun damage just riding on an airplane. And you have to be very, very conscious of that because you're at different altitudes that are closer to the sun, and you get a lot more radiation in the sky than you do on the ground. So like people who travel a lot, such as my best friend who's a flight attendant, have to put sunscreen on every single day. So because all of us on this are avid, adventurers, travelers, whatnot, that's something we have to think about and actually have to take into consideration. So getting that type of review from a dermatologist is like, oh really? Yeah.
See, I get told whenever I go get a facial that I've got really good skin.
I know, and
that bugs her.
When you've been to the dermatologist, she always says like, your skin's great, and I'm like,
because I don't do anything.
Right, he like washes it sometimes.
I occasionally wash my Yeah, I don't know. So, but there's something. So Nick Barnett says that nowadays I just make a frappe during the hot months and a Greek coffee during the colder months. I guess I reverted to my roots and drink coffee increasingly like a Greek the older I get.
Love it.
And then you use Windex on, things, because Greeks, I don't know.
So, I just want to say, Lori says she was told to use SPF 45. So my Elta MD sunscreen, the zinc one that I mentioned, is technically a prescription after going to the dermatologist. So I was able to use our FSA money to pay for it. That is a hot tip. If you have an FSA account, and you can buy any type of sunscreen with that money. So.
Yeah. So Mo is saying that he's more of a tea person than coffee.
I love
tea. Though
tea.
he likes lattes and prefers hot chocolate.
Grab the tea thing. Let me brag about it. So we got this tea in China, ginseng oolong tea. And we bought a bunch of other ones too. But it's so nice. And so we do loose leaf tea now, which we never did before going to China. Game changer. It makes the whole process really enjoyable.
Nick Barnett is saying that the Windex thing is by far the dumbest thing about that movie.
Which movie? I missed it.
My Big Fat Greek Wedding.
Oh, yeah.
It's the whole Windex thing. That must have been something only Nia Vardalo's dad used to do or something. LOL. Yeah. I didn't think it was real.
Nick Barnett's and Jocelyn are disputing this.
No Windex. Garlic. That's funny. So, Thomas Reiser does not like coffee or tea. And Nick D agrees with him. He doesn't like either one either. So I've got my dad drinks a lot of coffee. My mom doesn't drink much coffee. She's more on the soda kind of kick. My little brother drinks soda. Doesn't do coffee or tea or anything like that.
I come from such a coffee family that's just foreign to me. But
well, and tea. Your family does like tea and some teas and stuff like that too. And Ryan Donahue has a run. Thank you, Ryan, so much for being with us. We really appreciate it.
And if you're still on, I really
Enjoy
liked
Boston.
your image of the fog over Logan Airport today. That was cool.
Yeah. Good night. And Mark Finley is also neither a coffee or tea person.
I'm just so impressed with all you guys. You get your energy?
Sunshine.
You guys must
Vitamin D.
sleep a lot or something. I don't know.
Let me. Austin Moore loves coffee.
There you go.
You're my people.
Welcome.
I drink so much coffee.
He drinks
so
too
much coffee. Yeah. I'm now on a 2 French press a day. Kick.
That's messed up. Are you really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So because you guys drink part of my first thing of it.
I didn't.
Because I share it with you and Megan now, and so then I've got to make more.
Okay. So Mark Finley drinks Diet Mountain Dew, so he's with your mom on that.
My mom
train.
drinks so much Diet Mountain Dew,
which is if you want to
delicious.
continue drinking Diet Mountain Dew,
it's really good.
Don't Google it. If you want to quit, Google it.
It's totally fine. Whatever. I'm not gonna lie, Mountain Dew tastes good. I think it tastes good.
I can't drink it because I'm allergic to oranges.
She into oranges, and I didn't even know until this that Mountain Dew is orange
Surprise!
flavored.
Mountain Dew has orange juice in it.
I was like, wait, what?
Everyone's like, what?
I was like, no, it's Mountain Dew flavored. It tastes like a Mountain Dew. And she's like, that's oranges. It's like, oh my god.
It tastes like a Mountain Dew.
I don't know. It tastes like dew from a mountain leaf. I don't know. But yeah. And
wow, we should cut this live stream off on that one.
Yummy.
What is dew from a mountain leaf?
It's pure. So I don't know.
Austin Moore says they can go through 3 pots a day of coffee easily.
Oh.
Yo. Don't. That's too much.
Yeah, so what...
I feel like I'm just telling people to stop. I'm sorry, I'm not a doctor. Don't listen to anything that I say.
It's a lot through I don't know, maybe small pots. But my dad's is like a 12 pot.
Yeah, if you're going through 36
12 cup
cups.
thing. Yeah, that'd be a lot. No, so like, but when I'm doing like a liter of it, so I'll probably do like if we make a French press and it's like a third, so that's a third of a liter, and then I need more, so I make another liter. I usually don't finish the entire thing. I usually end up dumping a little bit of it, but you know, it's not hard to drink it. It tastes good.
Yeah. Everyone seems to have different caffeine fixes. I love it.
Yeah.
So Nick D says Pepsi Max occasionally. Caffeine pills give him a stomach ache. I can only think of like that one episode of Saved by the Bell when you talk about caffeine pills.
So real quick though, we're talking about garlic because of Mark Walters talking about like garlic and
But Eric,
Greeks.
sorry, also I just want to say Eric does Red Bull. Anyway, yes.
Okay, but talking about garlic and Nick Barnett saying, yeah, never too much of that. So I make a garlic chicken, which I made today, and I think today's was 5 cloves of garlic minced, which I like rubbed around the chicken and like put in between the skin and the meat. And then I take an entire clove of garlic, like not a clove, but whatever like a bushel of cloves is. And I cut that in half and I shove that into the carcass. So like the garlic like permeates the whole thing. Oh my God, it's so good.
Cooking channel. And then Nick
So
says,
much
speaking
garlic.
of stars, has anybody seen the comet? So we have not, and we really want to see the comet. We know certain people, certain other photographers in Chicago who like position
Yeah.
themselves each night to kind of take pictures with maybe the skyline in the background and stuff like that. We just haven't gone down that path. But we loved their photos, and I've seen that like in London too, and just other places that have really iconic settings, and you can see it. So Nick, have you seen it? I've loved following everybody's content about it. And then Megan saying, yeah, Mountain Dew starts at infancy, it sounds like, over there. And Eric Brown says Mountain Dew Ice, I used to love, and then Code Red before that. I don't even know what Code Red is. Lori says, no comment here in California. I think too much light at night. Yeah. Back to the dark sky moments. Maybe we all got to road trip it out to the dark sky so we can...
Yeah, Nick D says, Derek's not too
Upstairs.
far off. The original branding was hillbillies collecting dew from the trees in Appalachia. Then they changed it to extreme sports, like in the Rockies. Flavors just citrus. It is, but if you actually look at the ingredients, it talks about orange, like extract or something like that, as like what they do. It's good. I like it. I don't know.
Mo had an inspired comment. He says, if you do start a cooking channel, just call it Delicious. So it's like Derek Eliz.
Delicious.
So everyone knows my real name is Elizabeth. Eliz is my nickname. I feel like I have to explain that sometimes. So yeah, but thank you all for being on board on the Eliz camp.
Yeah.
Thomas says he hasn't seen the comet.
Oh.
I think it'd be so
Me
cool
neither.
to be able to check it out. We should. You kind of have to like do your research, I think, to be
Yeah.
able to see it.
I can't believe you even acknowledged my Mountain Dew comment. You guys are true heroes. We try.
I had
So-
to change it around a little.
So Lori is saying that she used to drink 2 venti a day. Now my stomach insides can only handle 1 cup a day at home. It was just killing my gut. Yeah, I mean, it depends on like what you're drinking. If you're drinking like a venti black coffee or something like that, that's gonna be pretty tough. Because it's super acidic and stuff, and that can be tough. But I do a lot of like almond milk. I try not to drink it like too
Yeah.
strong.
So if you have any sort of like acid reflux, which runs in my family, coffee is not good for it. So drinking coffee, eating tomatoes, eating onions, like there's a lot of things that are really delicious but bad for that particular
garlic.
thing. Hi, Marielle and Dylan.
Hey, Mary Ellen Dillon.
We're
How you
still
doing?
going. I actually thought we were going to end up cutting this one off because we
We're
were
having a
having
lot of technical
difficulties.
Yeah.
But now we seem to be doing well. So I'm glad we got new people joining. Thank you, YouTube. Shout out to YouTube for finally getting it together on the whole tech thing.
And for those of you who have given it a thumbs up, thank you very much.
Thank
we really
you for the
appreciate
thumbs
that.
up. Maybe it was all of your thumbs up that really told YouTube to stop giving us grief.
We've got 20 of them so far, so thank you.
Thank you guys. And if you haven't, please do. If you haven't subscribed, please do.
We've gone on some wild tangents today. We've been talking about coffee, Red Lobster, oysters, Mountain Dew.
And we did start, so we're kind of at 2.5 hours at this point, but we did start and talk a lot about our experience buying souvenirs that we love, souvenirs that maybe we don't use a lot but still love, how we got them home. But there is one thing that we never actually talked about that I brought this prop, and it's if you buy art. So we don't ever really go into a trip thinking, hey, we're gonna buy art here. But sometimes you just go through a market and you see a person doing like watercolors or something. That's a menu that we took home from Washington DC actually. But can you just hand me the tube? Can you just hand me the tube, please? Just hand it to me. Thank you. So if you bring these things or buy them at like a local mail supply store, this is a great way to carry home inside the tube, like anything that you buy that's art related. Bye, us and more. Thanks for joining. And so we have a menu from our 1-year anniversary dinner that we went to in Washington DC. We have
awesome restaurant called 1789, which is the year that the Constitution, I think, was done.
The Declaration of Independence, right?
No, it's not 17.
Oh, the Constitution. You're right.
Constitution.
You're right. Yeah. 1776.
Because before that was the Articles of Confederation.
Yes. But these things are great. They fit in carry-ons. For the most part, you just have to be kind of mindful of not getting something that's too large. Like if you have a huge oil painting, that might be a little bit more challenging.
But no, these things are great and stuff. So it's just about not getting framed.
Maps.
Yeah.
We bought like 3 antique maps at Spitalfields Market in London last November.
It's awesome.
And took them home in those. Like, it's nice to not have to ship home art or like paper items that you buy. So let us know if you guys have ever bought like art abroad or something like that.
Yeah, because I know like Jocelyn on Walter's World, they like doing that. They've done some cool stuff in like Peru, I think, and whatnot that they love, and it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I like it because it brings like because if you are buying like a local artist's goods, you're helping support those artisans and whatnot, which I think is extra special. But back to the important things. Nick D is saying orange juice and Mountain Dew is regional. Some bottles use that recipe. The diet will have some calories, like 5. The other recipe is truly 0 calories. I prefer the OJ recipe when I drink it. I was not aware that there was regional Mountain Dew. That's nuts.
It must be like in everything in the Midwest. Because Derek's dad's so nice. They will cook ham with like Mountain Dew usually in the recipe at Christmas. But if I'm there, they'll change it to Sprite, I think, which doesn't have orange juice in it. But that's really interesting to know that maybe there's other options out there.
Yeah. Lori Sims bought 4 maps from the 1800s while somewhere.
Well, boop. We don't know.
You're right.
Megan Morris, so as soon as we hit 1,000 subscribers, this channel can get monetized after, I think you have to wait another month after that too. But we are by far and away at watch time. And I actually have been
for a while.
For a really long time at watch
time.
Yeah,
subscribers.
There's a few videos of mine on this channel from back when I was actually like traveling more that do really, really well. So
if you need a long haul packing flight,
yeah,
she's your gal.
But we've been loving just hanging out with people and getting to know the different subscribers on these. And once we start traveling again, there's definitely going to be a lot more videos on this channel too. Yeah. So stay tuned. It'll be nice when we can monetize this for sure. Yeah.
And we're also looking at, between now and when we start traveling, trying to get out and maybe film a few things around Chicago, which would be kind of cool to put out there and whatnot. So, we'll be putting some stuff out here in the near term. And Mary Ellen is saying that another cruise got canceled today and needs to figure out how to rebook.
Aww.
So that's a bummer.
I've heard I don't know if it was just like maybe all of a sudden today all the cruise lines canceled things, or maybe you're just on the same cruise as a lot of the people that I saw on the internet, but like people were really talking about that in the past week or so about cruises canceling stuff. So that's unfortunate. I really hope the cruise lines can like make it through all of this, because it's tough.
Yeah.
It really is. Lori says the maps are from Barcelona.
That's
4
cool.
maps from the 1800s in Barcelona. That would be...
That's cool.
I mean, it's just fun to, like, talk to the people that sell them, too. Like, when we were at Old Spitalfields Market... Or, no, we were at, Brick Lane. But the map guy, his Instagram handle is Old Spitalfields Map Man. And so we, like, connected on Instagram after talking to him about all of his maps. And, like, now I get to see every time he has new maps come in. And it's just fun because if you are the kind of traveler who is like really into old maps, you can find a great community out there.
Yeah. So Nick Barnett is saying, I guess I'm somewhere between you guys on the oysters. I don't love them, but I'll eat them in a good seafood restaurant. That's kind of how I feel, Nick. Don't love them, I'll eat them, especially if she really wants them, and she, then I'll have some to enjoy with her.
You'll eat them with me for sure.
I will eat them. I don't enjoy them like you do.
Right.
But yeah, they're fine. And then Germany Travel Personal Guide Darien is saying that I have so many favorite cities in Germany, and he loves Garmisch, as we all know, and Schweinfurt, Berchtesgaden, and Bamberg. So that's cool.
I know.
I might have butchered 1 or 2 of those names.
We are making it to Germany when we can. That's for sure.
Yeah.
And you've convinced us. we wanted to go before even meeting with you, but like, I mean, this is everything that you post, being part of your Facebook group. I don't know if Derek is yet, but
Blaine's here.
Hey Blaine, welcome. But yeah, Derek, being part of your Facebook group and seeing all the Germany posts and all the people so passionate about it, you sold me.
Yeah. We need to go to Germany. I've been to Germany for business. Liz has never been to Germany, but we need to make it out there because there's a lot to see and do in Germany, and it's like such a big country.
So I'm in the process of redoing my website, just so everyone knows, like, kind of stuff I'm working on in the background during quarantine. But one of the things is, like, I'm trying to put a counter up of, like, how many countries we've been to and how many cities. And it's, like, gotten to a point where it's impossible because it's like, well, do I count the ones that Derek's been to or just the ones that I've been to? Because we haven't been to the same ones. And with cities, it's like, I've been to, like, 300 cities. Like, I need to actually, like, go around the entire globe and probably count them. But I don't know if that's, like, really an important credential or not. So I'm working through what the website's going to look like and how that's going to come across. So hopefully you guys will visit it once we actually have news about launching that.
Yeah.
And then Lori.
So Nick P is calling it a night. I don't know if we already said that. And he's saying that our live stream had a strong recovery after the early issues that we went through.
Thank God.
But he's going to sleep. So Nick, thank you very much for joining us. Really appreciate it.
Thank you, Nick.
And Nick is saying Mannheim to Darien. So
okay.
But thanks for joining us, bud. And
Nick Barnett says he wears contacts when going out, and I don't know what that's in reference to. Maybe it's to not fog up your glasses with your mask from ages ago. Otherwise, I'm not sure where that came from.
I wear contacts when going out too.
Yeah. But thank you, Nick. I think they're saying goodbye to Nick. A lot of people are, yeah.
But Blaine, thank you for joining us. Even though you've been busy, we really appreciate you stopping in.
Lori says, as far as travel, British Airways still has my flight booked for Rome in mid-September. Interesting.
Wow.
So, I wonder if it's because it's British Airways. So, I'm guessing you're not flying direct from the U.S. to Rome. I'm guessing that's going to be a connection through London. and you're technically allowed to go to London, so that flight wouldn't cancel. And technically British people are allowed to go from London to Rome. So I'm guessing that flight wouldn't cancel. So, yeah. Shoot, did it... Are we still good?
Oh man, I think we might have just canceled out for some reason.
Uh-oh. Let's check. We jinxed it, didn't we?
We did.
Alright. Refreshing everybody. It says people are still on it though. So I don't know if... It says stream health is good, not excellent. And now there's a few people still on, maybe. Hopefully...
There's a couple, but we should be wrapping it up.
Okay, Thomas says we're fine. So,
Yep.
Lori, what I was just saying is those flights might not actually cancel. Just because you're allowed to go to the UK, and then British people are allowed to go to Rome. And so I don't know if they would be looking at you as an individual on that. So that's something to probably start to Google and see what other people's experiences have been.
Or just try calling the airline and seeing what's going on.
Yeah.
Because I think that they are allowing, because you never go through customs if it's like a direct connection, that you might be able to like go through the airport, still do a connection to places, is something that we're seeing as potentially being an option. So just make sure that you're doing the research on your own and you understand what's feasible and what you are willing to do.
Yeah. And thanks, Mo, for sticking with us. Oh my gosh, it's almost 4 a.m.
Oh,
there.
wow, jeez.
You're the best. You're a
Mo,
legend.
go to sleep.
Yeah. And
Wow.
we're actually going to need to probably head out soon now, maybe too. It sounds like a lot of you were having some issues with our stream anyway. So maybe this is the time where YouTube has punished us for thanking them for getting it back together.
And we're out of
wine. And it's almost 10. We should all start hitting the hay here in the States. So, thank you all, though, for joining and for sticking with us, especially during all of these crazy tech issues.
Real quick, though, Tom's Riser, sounds like each of you needs separate naps. Yes.
Yeah. That's awesome. But yeah, thank you, Griswold Family Vacay, for joining. Thank you, Darien,
Blaine,
from Germany Travel Personal Guide. Megan
Thomas,
Morris, thank you, Nick
Mary
Barnett.
Allen, Eric B.
Yep, all of those. Thomas Reiser, thank you so much.
Mark
for joining
Finley,
me.
April Finley, Terry Finley, all the Finleys.
All the Walters.
All the Walters, especially Kathy Walters.
Yeah. All the
y'all.
Nicks, all the Nick Peterson, Nick D, Nick Barnett's. We always have such a great time hanging out with everybody every Thursday.
Yeah.
We're going to be back next Thursday, so hopefully you all will be too. And hopefully these tech issues are going to get themselves fixed, because I'm over it. And we'll try to figure out what's going on. But yeah, all right. Have a good night, everybody. And
Thank you so much for joining us.
Take care. Bye.